Hello, so we should be live. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Essentially, I've been watching streams and streaming with Chris for ages, and I realized there was a whole load of people who I really wanted to get to know and chat to more, and I hadn't had the chance to. So hence, we've got today, because there are all these wonderful people here who I wanted to chat to. So we'll probably crack on. And do you each want to just introduce yourselves and tell people where in the world you are in case they don't know you yet? So do you want to go, Emma?
Yeah, let's do it. No, you're totally good. I'm Emily or Emma. Honestly, like either is fine. It's all good. Yeah, I'm in Austin, Texas. I am also a YouTube channel, and I do a lot of just like Lego city building, Lego Star Wars, as you can see, Lego Super Mario. I'm like a huge Disney fan and a huge Scooby fan. If you can see like that giant Scooby behind me, I'm very much a Scooby fan. But yeah, I'm really excited to be here and hang out with you guys today.
Mrs. Craggle, I think you're breaking stuff down there in the corner.
I am. I'm going to move over a little bit. Yeah, so I'm the other half of the Craggle. I live in sunny old Cardiff in Wales, which is not so sunny at the moment. But I normally behind the scenes helping him like film videos, or I'm helping him tweak something on the editing, literally just saying, okay, change this bit. Otherwise, yeah, I'm just normally in the background, or I'll break down sets like I'm doing now. Make space for new sets, which is currently sitting in the backlog. So that's basically me.
Awesome. Thank you. Claire, how are you? Claire's just got up.
Yes, like 3 minutes ago. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, awesome. Hi, I'm Claire. I'm the plastic architect. I just started my YouTube channel like 2 months ago. And I'm in California and San Francisco, and I'm a real architect, and I like to talk about that a lot, probably annoying everybody. So yeah.
Thanks, Claire. Sarah.
Oh yeah, hi guys. I'm Sarah, or also known as Sarah Starbricks on YouTube, and I'm an American girl who lives in the Netherlands with my Dutch fiance. And I got back into Lego about 3 or 4 years ago. I also have my YouTube channel, which I started 8 months ago, and I do live streaming regularly and make content about all the hopeful updates of my hopefully Lego City and also my collection.
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah. Cece.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Cece, or Cafe Corner. Cece, some people think it's just for Cafe Corner, but it's actually the initials of my name. Yeah, so I started my channel about a year ago, coming up on a year in February. And I do a lot of different content, been focusing mainly on streaming recently. So that's been a lot of fun. And I'm in Virginia, over on the East Coast of USA.
Awesome. Thanks, Cece. And Miss Spirits of Fun, we've got you back in. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Rip.
So, well, Miss Spirits of Fun is, yeah, she's in Wales, and she's having issues with the weather affecting her internet signal at the moment. So when she reappears in the green room, we will bring her back in. But that was unfortunate timing. So we have so many people in the chat. There are loads of you. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Bricknit, for the super chat, and Al McCullough. So thank you very much for those. Yeah, so I was wondering, I'm trying to work out which thing to start with. Obviously, a lot of the chat in the community over the last week or so has been that 90th anniversary vote. Did any of you vote? Who did you vote for?
Yeah.
Go for it. Do you want to go for it, Cece?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, I voted for Adventurers Studio, and I can't remember who the third one. I think it's probably like Paradisa or something else related to adventuring or exploring, something like that. But Yeah, that's who I voted for. I've been tempted to go through the votes just to see if who they say wins is actually who was mostly voted for, and that's just the data analyst in me. But there's like, I think 50,000 votes, or there's an extensive a lot. So
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
I do like Paradisa. Like, there's something different about it, and moldy base plates and whatnot. And the space
love
set's really cool as
Paradisa.
well.
Paradisa is so cute. I used to have some of those sets when I was younger, and so for me, that's like an automatic nostalgia point. I voted for Paradisa as well.
Yeah, me too. I didn't have them as kids, but like my friends did, so it's totally tied to my childhood as well. It was, I think it was like the friends set of our generation, I think, like back then, and it was, but I think, I know, like, Sarah, you like friend sets now and you like Paradisa then. Like, would you, like, do you think they're the same? I think, to me, from my vision, like, I'd much rather have the Paradisa sets, but I don't know if that's like rose tinted lenses.
I don't really think of them as being the same, and I get why the friend sets exist because Lego does all their marketing, and they did a really extensive job doing all this thorough research on what girls of a certain age range really preferred, and they love mini dolls. They just like mini dolls. And I also feel like a lot of people don't have this experience. Like, I went to go pick up bulk Lego, and it was Lego friend stuff from someone's house. And the dad, I went in, I had a cup of coffee, and the dad was telling me about how these little girls, they were running around the house. And he's like, they just had so much fun with their Lego friend sets. Like, they invited all the girls from the neighborhood over, and they would all play and have a great time for hours. And so I get the existence of both. I think Paradisa is definitely like a precursor for sure, Claire. But I think there's room for both. I think they could both coincide.
Yeah, I agree.
Live together.
I have to say, some of the friend sets, like, especially the ones that come in little boxes, they remind me of Polly Pocket, but just like blown up a little bit.
Yeah, I had a couple Polly Pocket sets. Remember there was like the little ones, and then there were like the big ones that were like significantly more expensive, but you felt like they were, I don't know, at least maybe it was like the scale of like our bodies relative to it. They felt huge, but like they're just like little anyway. But do you guys still have any of those? I need to go to my parents' house and go try to find them. I think that would be so fun.
I don't, unfortunately. We moved every 3 years, so being honest, I used to have like little tiny Polly Pockets, which I'm probably horribly aging myself now. But I had the really tiny ones with the clamshell cases and stuff. I don't have any of them anymore.
Yeah.
Do they still make Polly Pocket? I need to like get into this. Maybe I made a mistake with Lego, and that's what I need to be.
Okay, so I have to remind myself.
You heard it here first.
But I
was stitching Lego for Polly Pocket.
I mean, I Googled it, and there's a lot that comes up.
There's a lot, and they are so cool. They're bigger. There's one that looks like a pony.
Like a clamshell.
Oh my gosh.
Cafe pink clamshell. Okay, that's for me.
These are cool. These are really cool. Yeah, I think I'm switching the direction of my channel. Absolutely.
Polly Pocket focus.
Exactly.
No need to rebrand because it's still plastic. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good show.
I know. That's why I chose plastic and not brick. That was like the key word there.
Yeah, it's smart because it leaves it really open for like a lot of other things. You can do anything in the future, almost.
Any mass consumerism, any unsustainable product. I can do water bottles, like plastic Ziploc bags, any of it.
What's that big one for the girls now? It's like OMG dolls or
LOL dolls, right? LOL.
Yes.
Something.
Yeah.
LOL surprise.
Is that the new Bratz?
Pretty much.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I don't really understand it. Like, so my husband's, I think, niece, I guess, his cousin's daughter, she had those, and I was like trying to play with them with her, and she was just like, no, not like that. Like, and she had all these crazy stories behind them. I was like, I don't understand this game. But
are they the Bionicle of the?
It might have been. I have no idea, honestly. I was more confused after I left than when I started.
Oh, sorry, Lee's there, and I haven't let her in. That's dreadful. Sorry.
Yeah, it's so funny how girls think, I guess, opposed to how boys think, because I feel like when boys play with toys, there's a clear like two sides, like it's like a warring type thing, but like with the girls, there's a hierarchy, like a social hierarchy when it comes to like their little community that they build with their like dolls and Lego and toys and stuff like that.
Oh, interesting. Is that's a common thing?
I feel like there's, I mean, because based off of just what Emily said, and then like I know with playing with like my cousins and things, there's just like boys typically go for like crashes and bangs and like, oh, these throwing things around, right? Like just doing things like that, and the girls are like, oh, this person is the teacher and this person is the baby, and like it's I don't know, it's really interesting.
I think that's super true too, though. Like boys are like, bam, this guy crushes, and it's all about this action. And the girls are like, well, this is the role that this person is, and she's gonna talk to her, and this is really important. There's a lot of like nuances to how it is.
So weird.
But is that like nature versus nurture, or like what is it? Like I get that, you know, I felt the same way, but like why is it because we're told that's what we're supposed to like, or is it just like our hormones and like what is it? Like I'm so curious about that.
I don't know.
I imagine there's an element of like nurture in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of it is socialization too. I think, you know, you start watching things on TV when you're really young. You watch cartoons, you get socialized already for like, what role do I play? What am I supposed to do? And a lot of the things I know when me and my sister played, we always copied things we saw in movies or TV shows that we liked and sort of incorporated them into our own playing, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. No, that's totally true. And like what your parents are doing and the people around you as well.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. So what are you guys all working on?
I'm currently, so I have this like huge backlog, not huge, like 3 or 4 of 501st battle packs that I don't know. Once you build the actual build part of it once, it's kind of like, okay, that was cool, but I just kind of want the figures. So now I'm just kind of going through and building the figures and kind of putting the rest of the pieces into a bag that I'll build it eventually. I just don't really want to right now. So yeah, kind of tedious, but it has to get done eventually.
So what are you going to be using them for? Are you building an army?
I'm like trying to. I think that'd be pretty cool. I mean, my husband has a bunch of these old, it's just stormtroopers and all bunches of just old Lego minifigures in storage. And so I do want to kind of start working on an army, especially since the Pio First is really cool. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. I don't have that many. Like I know some people went out and bought like 100, but I have 6. I think it's enough for me.
It gets expensive pretty quickly, doesn't it?
It does. It definitely does. They're like $30 each.
Yeah.
It adds up.
Yeah, my understanding is like that army building stuff was like pretty popular like a few years ago. And then maybe it's like coming back now with the release of the 501st. I don't know. I know nothing about Star Wars, so this is like me just like hearing bits and pieces.
For real? That makes me feel so much better because I don't know the most, and I always feel bad. I'm always like, I mean, I don't really know that much, but you make me feel better, Claire.
No, I mean, like, you know, I've seen like some of the movies, and you know, I enjoy that. I don't not like Star Wars. I don't not like it. It's like
you're just not obsessed.
Yeah, I'm not obsessed, and there's also like, you know, there's only so many themes and so many things you can like. I think, you know, maybe I don't know. The wallet like would not be okay if I started buying like all the Star Wars with the same ferocity as like Harry Potter and like city stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
it's hard, isn't it? There's just so many Lego sets
and
so many themes. I'm like,
yeah, you just have to pick and choose.
Focus.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like my husband's super into Star Wars, and like I've kind of been forced to like learn everything just because like I mean I see it there and he's always talking about it, and it's definitely a learning curve. But yeah, it's just crazy hearing about his like experience with Star Wars and like especially in this community because he started his channel like 12 years ago, and back then he started around the same time like Solid Brick Studios, David Hall started, and like he was always like, oh, I'm so jealous of his army, like it looks really good, and I'm like, wow, I'm learning more about like the history. I don't know. There's just so much with Lego Star Wars that it's, unless if you like experienced it through time, I don't know how you would learn it, you know?
Gosh, yeah. Yeah, it's when I talk to Rogue and I'm like, huh?
Oh my god, I know. Just the wealth of information, it's pretty crazy. But like, but all of them though, it's like I think you're in the minority if you don't know a lot about Star Wars. But you know, it's pretty. I think it's interesting. I will probably get into it at some point. But slowly. Maybe I'll just like start off with like one of the like massive sets and just like immediately get the Millennium Falcon and just like go big.
Just do it. Drop the $800.
I think
Millennium Falcon.
that's the one set that I'm like, okay, that's cool. And then the Mos Eisley Cantina, because it's like a building, and that's like what I like. It's like any building, like I'm such a sucker for it.
I mean,
Mos
Mos
Eisley
Eisley
has nice
Cantina-
figures too. That one has
Yeah.
some great figures, so it's a good one to get.
and it definitely plays to your like architect vibes.
Yeah, I know.
And it's a much nicer build.
I'm such a stereotype. It's so bad. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm an architect. Yeah, do you like buildings? Yeah, I love buildings. Like, it's like
I would honestly like love to see an architect's review of like a Star Wars set, you know, like what's the inspiration behind, like that would actually be so cool if you did that.
I kind of want to do that for I want to do those reviews for like non-architecture sets or like and try to like pick and choose, you know, what they're. But you know, the thing is with Star Wars, like you watch the movies and there's like clearly influences from like older sci-fi. So like I read a lot of like even older sci-fi stuff, and like what, you know, started the whole thing like Ender's Game and that kind of generation of stuff. And that influenced a lot of Star Wars and a lot of George Lucas's. I think so. That's my perception of it from somewhat. And like even like ancient like or like Greek mythology and all that stuff. I think that would be kind of an interesting, but I'm sure that's done before. Everything Star Wars has already been done before. So
Same as most things. Like,
yeah, that's true.
There's a saying, isn't there? Like there's no new ideas.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not the saying. I just can't remember the proper one.
No, me neither. Yeah.
It sounds right.
So far we've established that we're just not we're not Star Wars people. I'm hoping I like learn it via osmosis that somehow I just...
Chris is really into Star Wars, right? Like he's a Star Wars guy. Yeah.
Oh yes. The problem is I've got quite good at like switching off and just smiling and making noises at the right time. I shouldn't be playing this three menus in the chat, should I?
That's a good way to handle it.
It's like, oh, sure, okay. I've watched them all as well, but I'm like, as Chris would say, I'm dreadful for remembering movies. Makes me really bad for pop culture references. It's like, oh no. But, yeah.
Yeah, Craig tries to get me out with different movie quotes now and again, and I'm like, I can't remember that film. And then it's one of my favorite films, like, oh yeah.
I watched it.
Oh, you watched it so many times. I'm like, I can't remember the quotes.
So if we're not Star Wars Lego addicts, which themes are your favorite?
I'd say like the Disney D2C sets, probably. Like the Disney Castle is so cool, and I really hope that they do keep making those. Just like similar sets like that. Like I know Rogue mentioned in one of his videos, like a monorail set, like a Disney monorail. That'd be the coolest set ever. Oh my gosh.
Be incredible, wouldn't it?
That'd be so cool.
Yeah, I like a little bit of everything. It was overwhelming coming back in, especially at the same time as like starting my first big girl job. So I had all this extra money, and I was like, all right, all to the Lego store. Here you go. Just kind of getting everything. But I would say probably like Lego Ideas, I like to say, is my favorite one because there's just so much that can be done with it.
The variety in the idea sets is awesome, isn't it?
Right, yeah.
Like, it's so cool. I definitely love the ideas theme. Although I kind of wish they do some like, because they used to do lots of small idea sets, and it feels like a lot of the ones they've brought out recently have been quite expensive.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my bank balance.
That's what I was going to say. I mean, like the amount of D2C sets that come out are just, I just feel like it's like banger after banger. Like here's a $300 set, a $400 set, and it's like every other month, and it gets overwhelming.
Do you like those sets more? Like I tend to like gravitate towards the more expensive stuff, but I think that's I could probably say that with every aspect of my life.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just growing up, I remember like I didn't really get a lot of Lego, and it's only because I only wanted the really large sets. And of course, right, like it's not what I was gonna get. So then I would get the $15 Bionicle set, because I wanted the $200 Marvel set instead. You know what I mean? So now it's a problem.
So I heard that word then, Bionicle. Dangerous word to use at the moment, isn't it?
I've revealed myself.
Were you triggered yesterday, Cece, at all?
No.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, because I like it, but like I think I only liked it because I wanted to build something. I wanted my hands to be busy and then be able to like, oh, can I stand this up somewhere, or can I pawn this off on one of my boy cousins, and be like, okay, here you go, I'm done. But yeah, no, the debate yesterday was really good. It's quite a shame what's going on in the Bionicle community, but
I mean, we had, it looks like Sans Team Bionicle is in the chat, and then so is Rogue. Yeah, I mean, they can start debating again all over in the chat, I guess, but
it was a good fun stream, I have to say.
Ridiculous. It was so stupid. I was telling you guys, I didn't do anything, and I was like so stressed out, and you know, it was the master debaters that did everything.
I like how you just took that and ran with it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Have you guys? That was like a thing, and like I did debate club in high school, and that was just the dumb joke that we kept saying over and over and over again. Yeah.
It was something a bit different, wasn't it? Like that was what was fun about it.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to like try to reinvent the wheel here in like for like with Lego and with YouTube and stuff. You know, you're only kind of limited to certain things, and people do kind of the same thing over and over again, and that's what people like. They like that consistency, right? So, yeah.
But it's something new every once and again. Keeps it fresh, keeps it exciting. Because like as much as I love, you know, chill builds and chats and stuff, like we could all use a bit of conversational type or debate type streams, I'd say, just to kind of like get the conversation flowing in a different way than it usually does.
And I think so long as it's done in like good humor and in good jest, like
yeah,
it's fun then, because like we're allowed to have different opinions. That's the point of Lego. That's the thing that's most fun. Like I can like the things that I like, Winter Village, obsessed with Star Wars, and it's all well in the world. It's all fine. Like so long as we can have a laugh about it, I think it's all cool, isn't it?
Totally. I think but that's what I think. But the problem is I think the true Bionicle fans don't feel that way, and you know, luckily yesterday we didn't get any of those. I ended up modding like 300 people just in case that we did get that influx, and I was like kind of terrified that would happen because I made a stupid mistake of being like #Bionicle. So we'll see. But no, nothing happened. It was great. So yeah.
No, I think it was all good. It was very good humored. The outfits were immense.
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to actually like get dressed. Like I wore jeans and like a bodysuit and a blazer, and I can't tell you, it's been definitely almost a year since I've worn an outfit like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I mean, like what? I'm usually like sweatshirt and leggings and potato sack of some sort. So
yeah. It's like COVID wear, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. COVID chic.
Yeah. Oh dear. How about like Mrs. Craggle? What's your favorite theme?
I kind of go between a lot of themes. Like Craggle actually mentioned, I do have a lot of Star Wars, more than he does, but I don't think that's true. But I do like the Lego Super Mario stuff at the moment. And I keep getting into the dots as well, so I've got quite more dot stuff now to build and stuff. So I think it's got to be Super Mario. It's just so fun, and obviously I loved Super Mario as a kid. So as an adult, Lego sets made of Super Mario, I'm all for it.
Yeah, because you got some for your birthday, didn't you? Did you have a good birthday?
It was good. It was very interesting because I wasn't expecting to celebrate a big birthday in lockdown, but
yeah,
I made the best of it. I mean, Craigle supported me, so I was more happy. An amazing chocolate birthday cake as well, so all good in the world.
That is super cool. So, and have you actually played with the Mario, or have you just built them for like the figures and the nostalgia and the kind of enjoyment of Mario? Have you played the game?
Yeah, I've played the game. It's actually quite fun, but the problem is you need to have space to sprawl out everywhere. So it's like, I did everything on our dining table, and like, well, I need to work from this table now, so it needs to go away. But yeah, at the moment, I've not been building the stages as much. I've just basically building them, getting Mario connected up, and then just like enjoying the build, and then it's just been put aside at the moment. But
yeah,
the joy is not having space to have Lego. That's the problem.
Oh, I know. And as soon as you create a bit of space, like, I don't know about you, like, but we just fill it really, really quick.
Yeah.
Like, oh, Chris is like, oh, there's space. And then suddenly there's a new package with a new set. And I'm like, huh? Okay.
I feel like Chris does build really fast. I mean, like, and it's like he's always like super focused and just like pumping it out. And I mean, I get it. I feel. Do you think has he always been like that, or is it like the YouTube video kind of pressure as well?
No, that's him.
Yeah. Okay.
That's him. He's just like that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I think last night he was talking about how he just loved building Mos Eisley so much he just couldn't stop. And I was like, well, that's a great advertisement for that set, that you just are having so much fun and enjoyment on it. You literally cannot pull yourself away.
It was ridiculous. Like literally, because at that point in time we went in lockdown. Mm-hmm. So we driven to Manchester, picked it up like first thing in the morning, got back, and literally he put the camera on and just streamed and built. I'm like, right, I need to go eat some lunch. Nope. He just kept going, literally 6 hours straight, did not move from the chair. I'm like,
I know he said he didn't even go to the toilet.
No, he didn't. Like, this is not healthy.
No, it's not. I'm surprised like his legs didn't go numb or something like that.
He was in a proper desk chair at least, but I was just like, this is not healthy.
No. I mean, that's definitely a challenge. Oh man. I've done that probably like with work a couple times. You know, you get so focused on something and you're excited and it's a deadline and you're like moving super fast and all of a sudden you realize like, a few hours later. But then you crash after. It's like you ran a marathon or like you were working out but you were just sitting at your desk building Lego.
Yeah. Crazy.
It's being in the flow.
Mm-hmm.
It's that psychological flow thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I don't think I usually get that with Lego though. Usually I do take some breaks. I can't build it for too long in a row.
I can, but then I catch myself and being like, wait a second, like this is supposed to be like a bit more relaxing, you know? And like I'm not appreciating the set and the value of it, but I don't know.
Yeah, I've had to catch myself doing that as well because like trying to get something early or as soon as it comes out so you can get a review on it. Like I did that with the Monkey King mech, and it turns into something that's not enjoyable. And it's like, well, how can I give my accurate review of something if I'm just blasting through the build? So like I have to like take a step back and like look around, smell the roses, and like enjoy what's happening.
Yeah, although I built the flowers bouquet, they didn't smell that good.
Was it just boring or what?
Huh?
Was it just a boring build or what?
The build it's all right. They're a bit like fiddly and flimsy. Like they will if you it's like you try and arrange them and then things start pinging off, which is a little bit unfortunate.
Oh.
But yeah, they don't smell good. Not the same.
No, I don't think so. I mean, yeah, I agree. It's not the same. It doesn't replace real flowers.
Yeah.
It would have
I'm
been
still
cool
gonna
if they
get
did.
them. But yeah, I definitely see your point.
I do really like them.
I want them too.
I don't like arranging them and then realizing that I've got to rebuild the flowers.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. I heard it's kind of similar to the wreath where it's nice, but it's very picky and where you touch it.
Oh, and it just like fiddles apart or whatever.
Yeah, the pieces definitely are a little bit wiggly and picky what you touch them on, which is kind of interesting because like you were just saying you want to rearrange it and make it look pretty, and then you're just like, everything's falling apart.
No, I do need to get the bonsai one though, because that just looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, the bonsai looks cool. I really like the alternate builds for it. Did you guys see like any photos of? I think the back of the manual has like an underwater one, and I don't know, it doesn't come with the parts obviously, and I don't even know if like you can get those instructions anywhere, but it's just inspiration and it looks really, really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
So cool. Wow.
We haven't got the bonsai tree yet.
Yeah,
And
same.
it's in and out.
I really want to get it though. I mean, all the botanicals look really cool, and like I'm kind of the opposite. Like I really do like real flowers, but then I hate throwing them away when they're dying. So like I built my own little like flower pot mock over like winter. I was just like all of mine are dead. So I mean, I'm kind of excited to have like fake flowers that I don't have to like deal with long term to just like sit there and be pretty forever. But yeah they're pretty cool.
That's fair. I keep killing all my plants, all of them, every season.
Yeah,
we're not good for plants. I did actually buy some dried flowers not so long ago, for the reason of like I really like fresh flowers, but they do die, and it's like
yeah.
So I was like, these will last longer. But dried flowers are expensive. Like they're not much cheaper than those Lego ones. So
No, I think they have to because they're like treated a certain way so they last longer or whatever. Yeah. Were you thinking about using your? I think Chris mentioned you were thinking about using the Lego bouquet for your wedding.
Yeah, we're thinking about it, but I need to test whether I can carry it and not explode everywhere. Yeah. I don't feel that walking down the aisle leaving a trail of Lego pieces is quite the vibe I was going to go for.
Would you glue it together?
We did talk about it. Don't shoot me.
You're going to get canceled.
Yeah, we did talk about it. We'd have to, It would be one way of managing it.
Yeah. It's just like Elmer's glue or something, so that it can just be soaked off. Right?
So it doesn't actually stick? I mean, that's the thing, though. You know, it's like...
Well, it'll stick, right?
Just walking down the aisle, though, you don't want to, like... That's, like, the last thing you want to, like...
Yeah.
Worry about, right?
I would use the strongest, craziest glue there is if I was going to glue it. And then I think even with that stuff, they make, like, solutions to dissolve that, right? I think you can do it. Or you can buy another one.
I think I might have triggered Crackle.
Oh boy.
Like, oh no.
Because ideally you'd want to save those like particular ones, right? And not actually or accidentally have them go into like a parts bin.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, we need to work out whether the wedding's even going to be allowed to happen at the moment, but with lockdowns and whatnot. So, yeah, we'll work it out.
You'll work it out. I mean, the end result will be the same at the end, right? You'll be married.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All will be good.
Exactly.
Okay. So, Sarah, which Lego themes are your favorites?
I mean,
It's quite hard to guess with some of the things I've seen you stream because you've got quite a variety.
Yeah, I like idea sets and modulars. I guess I'm kind of just with Claire where I kind of like the big sets. Also, Cece said the same thing. She really gravitates towards the larger sets. And I think we can all feel like that. Like if it's just a big, cool set. I also really like Harry Potter sets a lot too. So I have all of the Harry Potter sets that have been released since the newer waves came out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's quite a big Harry Potter collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me too. That's my jam, the Harry Potter stuff. Yeah.
And I like figures too. Like, I'm not going to lie, the figures are kind of the thing that got me back into Lego in the first place was I was like, oh, these are so cool. And I got a People Pack and like the pizza van from 2017, and I was just sold. The CMFs, I love those too. I know Chris has a huge collection of CMFs, and we're kind of doing the same thing. Like we have a lot of them, and I really want to collect them all.
Yeah, the CMS is so cool. But going like the challenge we've had is going back and like collecting them. Ooh, it's pricey.
Yeah.
It's very expensive. Craggle collected the whole Lego Pirates Caribbean because he wasn't so sure on buying Pirates of Barracuda Bay. Ended up being more expensive than the Pirates of Barracuda Bay. But in all fairness, the ships are pretty cool, so can't complain.
Yeah.
No, that's a cool build.
Yeah, because you got some of the Pirates of the Caribbean sets as well, Claire.
Yeah, I do. I've got not all of them. I have the Silent like I have 2 of the 3 boats, which are like I think I don't know too much about like a lot of the retired sets, but the red one, God, I'm forgetting the name right now. That's what happens when you like sleep 4 hours, but it's like $1,000 now or something outrageous to buy used, or like if you want to get it new.
Queen's on Revenge. The Queen's on Revenge.
Yeah, exactly, that one. And it's like I don't know if it's like a smart thing to buy used because with the sale pieces, those get trashed. But yeah, I've got a few of them. I love them. The figures are awesome. I think they're great. And I like boats. I'm a sucker for boats.
I am too. I really like the ships a lot. It's so weird, but do you have the Destiny's Bounty, Claire, from the movie?
I have the movie one. Yeah.
Okay. Have you built that yet?
I did a long time. I did when it like came out a couple years ago or whatever, and I guess 2017 is more than a couple years ago now. And it's in my like backlog. Like I have like my backlog of like sealed sets, like Diagon Alley and like the Hogwarts Castle, and then I have my backlog of like crap I bought, built, took apart because I was like ashamed of my Lego hobby, and then put in a Tupperware container. And that's in that pile.
Yeah, as soon as you said you like ships, I was like, man, that's such a great set. Like if you like ships, because I love that one so much. It's one of my favorites.
There's so many cool ones. And I can't even wrap my mind around the amount of ships I'd love to have, but they take up so much space.
Yeah, they do.
Do you have the Harry Potter one?
I don't.
Durstrom?
The Durstrom ship? Yeah, no, I'm hoping they do a redo. You know, honestly, as much as I love Harry Potter, I hate all the old ones. I think they're so bad.
They're so funny.
There's like some pictures in them that are really cool, like Fluffy. Like Emily, when you saw Fluffy at Bricknit and yeah, it's really cool. But like, and then the Lupin, the wolf head is pretty cool in the Shrieking Shack set. But I have no desire for any of those sets, which is kind of weird.
Yeah, when I was going through like when I was first getting back into Lego, I started buying a bunch of old stuff, and I bought a couple of the old Harry Potter ones, the Dobby's Release, I think it was. And it's just because like the figures are so funky, and like I like how like Lucius, like his hair is like it looks so weird. Like I have it right here.
Oh man, those figures are super weird.
Yeah, like
they're wild. Yeah, they're really
Dobby
weird,
looks
and they
like
have the yellow faces too, because they're the ones from like 2001, 2002. I have some of those too, and they're so weird. I'm just like, what is this?
But they're so valuable now. Like they're so expensive because of them. It just people are Harry Potter obsessed.
Yeah, like a 50-piece set is like $50, and it's like, what?
Yeah.
Crazy. So Claire, how was it coming out of the Lego closet? Like what was that like for you?
It was really great. Honestly, it was like really good. My friends were super supportive, and my family, obviously like my dad already knew because I was like storing half my stuff at his house, more than like 90% of like, he's too sweet to like let me do that. But everyone was really supportive. They're like, it's so cool, blah 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 blah. You know, like you really love it so much. And
Yeah.
I think I had like, because I don't have kids, and so I think part of me was like waiting to have kids to like have an excuse. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, even if I have a kid today, like the age that they're going to be able to play with Lego, it's like in a few, like what, you know, I'm going to play with 4+ sets in 4 years. I was like, I can't wait that long. And so I started like Googling, and I found, like, you know, through Instagram, I found like I found the AFOL community. I didn't even know it existed. And then that like kind of really like held my hand like out of the shame. And then I was like, wait a second, like I've spent my whole life like trying not to be insecure and trying, you know, to be like, all these wonderful things that you learn as, you know, as an adult and as a woman to like kind of feel how to feel confident. And I'm like, wait a second, why am I doing that with Lego? And so, that was it.
Yeah, I was so happy when you started your channel because that was only like what, 2 months ago?
Something like that.
Yeah. I was like, oh my gosh, she posted a video. That's so exciting.
Well, I was like interacting with like, I think I found Cece. Cece was like one of the first people I found. And I started chatting, and I hopped onto her live stream, and I was like communicating with people, and it just like felt like, I was like, I know how to create content. I've had a YouTube channel in the past. I enjoy the process. Like, why not take part?
100%. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely one of those things where you definitely don't need kids. You don't need an excuse to enjoy Lego.
No.
I think that's one of the things that as you kind of get more into the community, you realize it's like, oh yeah.
And then now with like the targeting of like the 18+, it's great. And then I've gotten a bunch of my friends into it, like they're buying it. And like one of my girlfriends, she has her own Lego Instagram now, and she's like tracking stuff and products, and she's sending me screenshots of things that she likes, and she's so excited, and it's great. I love it.
So basically you've got another enabler.
Yes, exactly. I mean, like, look, I think notoriously aren't women like more mass consumers than men in general? Won't we like?
Oh yeah.
We spend a lot more and buy a lot more. We're in stores a lot more, and it's like, you know, get out of here with just friends. Like target all of it towards us. You know, it's like we will buy it all. It's not just not shit. Sorry.
Yeah, honestly, like, so my husband's cousin, she like, they were wanting to start a channel, and so like we've been kind of talking about that for a bit, but then she sent us a picture of her at the Lego store, and she's like a huge Harry Potter fan, but she had never had a Lego set, and it was a picture of her like at the desk checking out with 2 giant, like the huge yellow bags. You can't see it behind me, but like the big yellow bags, 2 of them, like Hogwarts, like the Great Hall, everything.
Big.
I'm gonna retire and need them, and like they probably just dropped like $1,000 on Harry Potter, but like, man, it's just so cool because she was like, oh wow, like Legos for everybody, like adults are doing it. That's so cool. And plus, like during quarantine, if you're like home all day, like it's something you can totally do here, you know. So it's a really fun hobby, especially like during current circumstances in the world.
Completely. The other thing I found is like, because a lot of the people I work with now are all working from home, so they're all sort of on Zoom calls. The number of people who have Lego sets in their background, like they're not like on show, they're not like big in the community or anything. They just happen to have Lego on a shelf behind them. And like, oh, like what can I see? And I'll keep like spotting in calls.
I was in a work call recently, and like behind me I had like all my TIE fighters kind of lined up, and my boss was like, do I see some like Star Wars paraphernalia behind you? I was like, yeah, is that like okay? Like, I couldn't tell if they were like dumbbells, like weights, or TIE fighters. I was like, oh yeah. And then like we started talking, like she was like, does anyone else here have like weird hobbies? I was like, okay. But like, I mean, it's fun. Like at least it's, I don't know. It's becoming more normalized. I feel like not everyone's on board yet, but like Lego Masters came out, and that like definitely more normalized it. So
totally.
It's so funny hearing you guys talk about it, because I started thinking, and I was like, did I ever come out of like a Lego closet? Like, who did I have to tell? And I realized it was never really that bad for me, because one year I made my Christmas list to my parents, and I just put Lego sets on it. I never like explained anything or said anything about it. But I always ask for video games. I've always been a gamer, and sometimes I ask for like stuffed animals or toys. So I guess they just never thought anything about it. They're just like, it's just Sarah just being like weird again or wanting toys or something.
Sarah.
They never said anything about it. They were never like, so what's up with this Lego stuff? They just never questioned it. So
That sounds like a nice supportive family.
well, I'm not sure I would say super supportive, but they just were kind of like accepting, I guess. Like she's just kind of like, she's into her weird hobbies.
Not weird. It's not weird.
I remember visiting them that year too, and we went around with my mom because, of course, they live in the U.S. and I'm in Europe. But we went and visited them that year, and I remember we went around. I was like, "Oh, can we go to the Lego store?" And we went in there, and Mike had picked up a little Cyberman from Doctor Who, and he gave it to me, and I carried around this Cyberman minifigure everywhere we were going with my family, and I was like playing with it, and they just sort of like, "Okay, I mean, whatever." They don't care.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, in our house, so my parents definitely don't understand the Lego hobby, but they were visiting us over Thanksgiving, and they saw our, Lego room, the Lego City room, and then this room, and they're like, but you only have one guest room. What about all your guest rooms? You need more guest rooms for all the guests. I'm like, it's COVID. Who's coming over? But
exactly.
I definitely didn't understand it.
Were they where are the babies gonna be?
What was that?
Were they where are the babies gonna be? I feel like that's what my parents would be like, well, what, how, what, why do you have so much Lego? Where are your kids gonna go? Where's everything gonna be? It's awful.
Right.
Thank you.
I have plenty of time to plan for that. If that happens, I will, we're definitely not thinking about that. But yeah, we've definitely gotten that question a few times. And I'm like, we just got married, Mom. Calm down.
Yep. Thanks, Mom and Dad. Yep.
Yep.
You guys parents come to your live streams and stuff. I've invited my mom and my brother and sister. They've never come to any of my live streams.
Oh no, my
really
mom definitely appeared on my live streams.
Oh my god,
my grandma shows up quite a bit.
that's so cool.
I love when Cece's Nana comes to her streams. It's so adorable.
Is her handle? What is her name? Cece's Nana?
No, it's
okay.
I when I go back home, I need to change it because it's her real name.
Yeah,
everyone knows it's Cece's Nana. It's like Nana's here.
Yeah, my best friend was on the stream yesterday. She's so supportive, and I talked to her afterwards, and she was like, I understood about 2% of that, the vocabulary and the language. And she liked Derek because he spoke slowly and in complete sentences, and so she could understand what he was saying. But I had her change her name before logging on because it was her first and last name. She's like, whatever, I don't know content. I was like, get rid of it. It needs to be something else. And I think she was like Brick super fan or something. She something like that.
Yeah, my dad showed up during the ranking stream, but he didn't tell me until days later, and he was like, "Oh, I was blah blah blah," and I was like, "It would have been nice to know."
You're say something.
That was a wild stream, Cece. That was a crazy stream. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, get ready for more wild action.
Okay, good.
Gonna make some more people mad.
That is always it's never the goal. But yeah, I gotta figure out a way for there to be actual voting.
People got heated during that stream.
Oh boy, yeah, they did.
Oh, they did.
Well, I feel like I missed out.
Oh yeah, so did you know about the ranking stream that?
I knew you were doing a ranking stream because I saw it advertised, but I missed it because the timings in the UK weren't. I was
right.
So what went down?
Yeah, so it was just a lot of people stating their case for certain themes and whether or not it should be at whatever tier. And then even though I tried my darndest to consolidate all the votes, no one was ever happy. They're like, oh, it's too high or it's too low. This is my favorite theme. It should be S tier. And it's you're one person and there's 50 other people saying that it's a D tier. I'm sorry.
I just remember BFAB getting so mad about power miners not being S rank, and he was so upset. It's just people are heated, man.
Gosh, honestly, Cece, so during that stream, I was I was like editing during the time, so I was like trying to multitask. I saw your stream. I was like, okay, like let me check this out. Like I'll like listen in the background if I can. And I joined, and everyone was like, no, Star Wars should be like way lower. And I was like, triggered. I need to get out of here. Like this is just kind of stressed me out while I'm editing. Like,
no, same.
But it was really cool. Like it was a very good stream. I was just like, I can't handle this right now.
No, I exited a lot earlier than I could have. I went in there. I saw where Indiana Jones and Lord of the Rings were, and I was like, bye.
Yeah, and it was like hard because it's like, of course, I have my own personal bias, and like I want to fight for like adventurers to be S tier, or you know, but it's like as a collective, it was hard.
You did a good job, though. You really did, like balancing it and choosing things and being like a mediator. I feel like you did like ace on that. So
thank you. Yeah, it was a good time overall, just interactively and like I don't know. I like conversations. That's why I adored the debate stream.
That was really cool.
Oh, good. Yeah, you guys. We should have a. Should we have a ladies one at some point?
I'm such a bad debater, so I should not participate.
Oh my god!
Whatever it is, I'll be like, I don't know.
Well, yeah, me too. Like when Steve was like, I won't say, and I was like, oh gosh, like where's my blazer? Like I started getting cold sweats, and I was like, I gotta get up, and I was like, no.
That's true. There should be like somebody that gets pulled from the crowd like every time or something. So it's like a panic. So everybody has to do research before getting there.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Like my husband, because we were watching it together, and like it was so much fun. But yeah, he like used to do debate club in high school, and like he was his like student body vice president in college, so he's very good at like making a point on things. He was like, I need to debate next time. Like I need to do this. So Claire, if you need somebody, like
I would love to have Ross there. I think he would be so great, and he like knows a lot of the history and stuff. I don't know, man. I think we could. I think that needs to be a thing for a while. Yeah, I don't know. At least once a month. I think once a month sounds healthy.
Yeah.
It's like an event, you know, that's like that people enjoy. So
enough time for people to cool off, recover,
exactly,
and come back.
Exactly.
Come back for more.
The thing is, I think there was a disadvantage yesterday because like no one wanted, you know, Bionicle to win. I don't think so. You know, I think, I don't know. We'll see. I have to go back and look at the live chat and see how many votes were like cast, and then we'll see what happens and we'll see who won.
I mean, I didn't even cast my vote based on who debated it better. I just cast my vote on what I wanted.
Sarah, but that's not the point. The point was the debate. Like my family has no control or no influence over like the actual like, you know, themes. But maybe the problem was it was like too close to the like the actual like fan vote, you know what I mean? So like we all maybe were like still upset or like, you know, personally attacked from that whole experience.
Because I do think that the Bionicle team did argue better, but I voted Classic Space. I don't know. I'm sorry.
I think you might have just made a couple enemies. I'm kidding. I think a lot of people might have done that. I'm not sure though, but it was. I think it's
did a great job though. They all did really stellar.
They did really, really good. I think the reality though is like it's impossible to be unbiased in situations like that, and especially with Lego, where all of us, it's like such a huge part of our lives, you know. So.
Yeah, I think people are supposed to more so get points when it's debate, right? Like you get a point for this, you get a point for that. So it's supposed to be fair, but yeah. I don't think people in the chat, including myself, voted fairly.
It's okay though, as long as everybody had fun.
Yeah, I feel like it really wasn't fair from the start though, was it? So we'll just throw Rogue in there.
Exactly, last minute, and like Steve's partner like wasn't able to show up or whatever, and I was like panicked. Like Sans showed up late, and then just like by a couple minutes, and we had like a moment of 20 minutes of awkwardness at the beginning. So
it was great though. I think everyone enjoyed it so much. It was so much fun.
We had fun. We definitely had fun. It was funny and it was a laugh, which ultimately I probably shouldn't say this to any debate nerds, but ultimately that's what matters.
Yeah, I agree. I did debate like Ross. I did debate in high school, and I was pretty crappy at it, but I liked it. It was fun. It's fun to argue.
Sorry, I keep trying to keep track of the chat.
It is
at the same time.
fire. Yeah, it's flying.
But if anyone does have any questions for us, if you do pop them in the chat, I will try and grab them. But I apologize if I don't miss them.
Don't be mad at me, Steve. Oh, wait, no, I'm on Steve's side, actually, because I voted for Classic Space. Just kidding.
That's true.
So I'm curious, what do you guys think about the new blacksmith set coming out? Are you guys gonna get it?
Yeah, I think I will try to go ahead and pick it up.
It's a building. I'm in. They got me. They know what I like. Complicated.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I mean, it's kind of expensive, but like I feel like what price per piece is actually pretty decent for it. And it's just kind of cool because they already like made one similar way back like 2008, I think, something like that. So
you have the old one, right? You did.
Yeah, we have like it was like medieval market from 2008.
So lucky. That set is so cool. That old one. I want that so bad.
We like found it last year for $90. I was like,
Wow.
It was a steal.
Was it used?
Yeah, it was used, and like some of the pieces are missing. Like it's missing an apple from the apple tree, and just like little things like that. But pretty much everything's there. Like everything important. That was pretty cool.
That's super cool.
Yeah, I think Carlos convinced to get it now. I think I might try and push him more. But the problem is,
cool.
We've got some big sets to build at the moment. He's probably like, it'll just sit there in the box for ages, but maybe I can convince him to buy it. It does look pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love
Is there
it.
going to be a promo with it? Do we know?
I don't know.
I've not heard one. Yeah.
I hope so. I hope they keep expanding on it every year, like the Winter Village sets, because that would be really cool just to have lots of, even, not large like this one, but just like small things to kind of expand upon it.
I mean, I really want it, but it's I think the US price is $150 for it. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
So then in Europe, in some places it's 150 euros, but here in the Netherlands it's 170 euros, which means it's over $200 for that set here.
That's
so
crazy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Are you guys gonna wait and just get it somewhere else?
Yeah, I think we will because Lego has like I think it's 3 months. They have some type of hold where it's only exclusive on idea sets at the Lego store for so long, and then you can buy them on Amazon or in other places. So I think we're going to have to, unfortunately, wait on that one and pick it up elsewhere.
That's okay though, but that's worth it. That's a pretty significant price difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you guys seen I'm relatively new to Bricknit, and I might get kicked off soon, but relative to, because I'm having a spat with a seller there, but in the time that I've been there, I saw like the sets that they like the AFOL designer series. Have you guys seen that stuff? No, am I alone on this one? It's pretty cool. I think they're not typically official like Lego sets, but they're pretty cool. And they were basically like different AFOLs like design, they're like mocks essentially, and then like packaged the sets together and boxed them up, and you could buy them off Bricklink and stuff, and you could get them like used now, but I'm kind of in the process of like parting. There's this one castle, like I keep forgetting the name of it, but I'm gonna put that castle I think together from some bricks and pieces parts and stuff. And, it's pretty cool. I think they look really, really good. If you guys are like,
is that like the Bricklink exclusive sets?
Yeah.
Like the white box?
Yeah.
I know it's like not descriptive, but
no, it's like a very white box. There was like a bike rack. There was like
there's a saloon as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I heard that a lot of the idea sets that get rejected moving forward I think they're going to go into the AFOL designer program.
I heard that. I think that's going to be great.
Yeah.
And there was a bunch of buildings there, and so it's like kind of like, you know, a lot of those like mocks that are a lot of mock designers do those like really cool buildings, and they don't get you know, picked up and stuff in Lego ideas, and I think I'm going to be a sucker for that for a long time going forward.
Yeah.
The instructions can be a little bit difficult though, because remember when Crowder got the saloon, the instructions basically said, like, you know, Lego manuals, they have, say, open bag 1, you build bag 1.
Yeah.
No, the saloon, it was open bag 1. Oh, you also need stuff in bag 2, and you basically had bags 1 and 2 all over the carpet because it was so many pieces. But it was really good build. I actually recently took it down, but yeah, it's a really good thing they did. And they had some fantastic designs on there, but I think he just went with the saloon because he loves Wild West stuff.
Yeah, that saloon I think is so cool. I remember seeing it on someone's like live stream, like a Beyond the Brick one or something like that, and I had no idea what it was, and I spent forever looking for it like on Brickset. I don't think those things are there. I could be wrong though.
Maybe not, because they're not official Lego.
Yeah. But are they now that like Lego owns Bricklink?
Probably a grey area.
Yeah.
I do love the idea of it though. I love them, like the idea that the ones that don't get made by Lego you can get. It's just more Lego sets.
That's also the problem, yeah.
It's like, I could get this. Oh, that's nice. I could get that. Such a sucker.
Especially the big sets.
I just made the smallest army ever, but here it is.
Have you got through all your boxes now?
I'm pretty good. I have like, I think 2 other Time of First Battle packs worth on like the gunship, and they're just kind of like hanging out in there. And I ran out of like spots on this. So
Yeah, you kind of filled you.
We'll just like hang out together. It's good. It's good. They're having a good time.
Is that the original gunship?
It's the 2013. I think there was one before it too, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't. I just sometimes I'll watch Ryan's like ask Iminar and then talk about different things, and that's the only way that I know about like gunship and Imperial and things like that.
Like the jargon, the like cool kids words or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So like that way I can like semi understand.
Ross is like always talking about it. Like he loves this ship. We actually found this one used recently, and he was like freaking out. He's like, "Oh my gosh! Like, yes, it's a good price. Like, we have to get it." Yeah, it's crazy. Like he knows all about like all the 2013 sets and like how that was like the best year and all that stuff. I'm like, okay, like just tell me more. Like let me like absorb your knowledge. This is great.
That's so cool. You have like an encyclopedia at home.
Basically is.
I can't wait until you guys go and get the stuff from the storage locker. I think that's so exciting. And just like just to see like the history and like his Lego history, I think it's gonna be really cool. Yeah. Yeah,
I really want to do like a video on just like the history of this channel, because like I remember like he just talks about like, oh yeah, like Solid Brick Studio used to be like Lego Boy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and like he did a bunch of Clone Army stuff, and like I'm like, how do you know this? Like that's crazy. Like man, yeah, I think that'd be kind of cool, like a history of this channel. But there's also like a 10-year gap, so it'd get kind of boring for a while. But
I think there's other. I know that like Tech has the same thing. He was like around back then, like OG, and then took a big break and came back with COVID and stuff too.
Yeah. One of his videos popped up on my like feed. I was like, oh, what's this? What did I just find?
Like a recommended video.
Yeah. Cool.
It was Tech at like 14 or something.
Right. It was great.
So one of my favorite things to do is like to go back and see how far back people's like videos go, and then especially with the guys, like how their voices change.
Oh my god! Yeah. Like Ryan, you go back, it's so cute. He looks like Corey.
Yes.
I just love when people leave up their old stuff. Like I get mad if people remove it and you can never see it, and I'm just like, man, I want to see. Oh hey.
Are we winning? Are you in? Can you hear us, Miss Fritzafron?
I can hear you. I just can't see you at the moment.
Okay.
Cy O'Connor and that's like, oh, baby Tech. Man. Yeah, it's really cool going back like in people's channels because I mean even Holly started that way too. She did like Harry Potter stop motion way back when, and it's just like it's so fun. Like people just got back into the hobby after their dark ages. I think that's the coolest thing.
Yeah. I definitely think it's nice. I hope they don't take them. All of them don't take them down. I think they're so fun.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, I had another channel and I like hid everything. Yeah, the second I think I like told like Tech and BFAB and they started making fun of me and I was like, hid all of them immediately. 100 videos.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was it for cooking?
No, it was for beauty. This was like literally 10 years ago. I had a beauty channel. And it was a lot of fun. But yeah, it wasn't nearly as fun as this. This actually has a community backing it. The other one, like I made a couple friends and like one I'm still friends with like in real life here. But it wasn't the same thing.
Bricknit just said, "Don't watch my first video," and now I really want to.
We're gonna all screen share. Yeah, no.
Watch party.
Yeah. Thing is, our channel's like only a year old. It's like even when you look back, like I don't know, like part of me is like, oh, you can be embarrassed about it, but part of me is like, oh, you can see how you've grown and how you've improved and like how you got better at stuff. So
I think
he has commented though.
I think a year would be okay. Oh yeah.
Awesome, Chris.
I also have an older channel, but I don't tell people what it is, so I don't have to worry about like the crossover. And once in a blue moon, someone from that old community will come by the Lego thing and be like, "Hey there," and I'm like, "Oh gosh, hi,
Hi, oh my god, hello, hey."
I don't want anybody from the Lego stuff to go backwards and see that. Like, there's only a couple people who've seen that, and I'm just like, just don't tell anybody. That's fine.
No, I hate that I feel the same way. I think for me, it's because in my older videos, like I sound stupid, and there's just like I kind of I'm not articulating myself effectively, and I'm not using the vocabulary that I had at the time, and I don't know why. There's like something about that that's like really I hate that look on myself, and so that's probably why I hated it so much.
It's hard though. Like making videos is hard.
It's so hard. It's so hard. I think people who don't make content don't realize that, which is probably why they're so harsh in the comments sometimes.
Yeah, before we started with the YouTube stuff back in August or July or something, like when we rebooted the channel, I was like, oh, like how hard can this be, right? Like you just film and post it, like it's all good. I'm like, oh, okay. Like there's a lot more to it behind the scenes, but I definitely didn't realize that when I started. So
especially nowadays, you have to be so competitive with like your editing and all of your stuff. Like you have to really do a good job to stand out now with the way that the algorithm works and the amount of people that are doing YouTube now. Like I feel like it was a lot easier back in the when, because my old channel is really old and it just seems so natural and easy to get like tons of people commenting and interacting. And now it takes a lot of time and effort. Like you have to really be patient for it.
What was your old content like? Was it gaming?
Yeah, it was for basically video game collection stuff. So I have a very massive video game collection, and that's actually how I ended up meeting Mike, was through the YouTube community of that.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
That's cool.
Such a good story.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird because we were both in this game community, and what's really weird about it is we both knew about who the other person was before we talked for years. Like I had seen his stuff on YouTube, he had seen my stuff, and we knew who each other were, and then we were in the same like online kind of like community chat type of thing, like Facebook chat groups and stuff for this game community. And somebody finally told us to just talk to each other, and then we did, and then we did long distance for a while, and yeah, we met on YouTube.
That's so cute. You guys should totally share that story. I think that would be
That would be such a fun video. Like you should really do that.
Yeah. Because I think like, think about so many people meet online now, especially with like online dating and stuff. And like, it's still, I think the YouTube thing is still unique.
Right.
Yeah. I haven't heard that before. So that's cool.
Like I only hear about it from like really large, like million sub channels that I guess especially like more in the beauty community, because it seems like they hang out with a lot of each other, like different conventions and stuff like that. But
I kind of think like it's like that for everything though. If you're part of a hobby, there's like a small hobby circle that goes with it behind the scenes. It's just like that with everything. Because it was definitely like that with the game stuff as well. You know, like people go to the same conventions and they all kind of do meetups and you see people, and it's like that with beauty YouTubers and Lego stuff too. I feel like the convention scene isn't one I've really tapped into, but I think that there's even like a separate convention scene too. There's people I talk to online that they know all the people in the convention Lego area, but they don't know the YouTube Lego people. And I'm just like, how can that be? Like, I talked to somebody recently who didn't know who Jane Bricks was. And I was like, how can that be? Like, how can you be an adult fan of Lego and not know who Jane Bricks is? But if you don't watch YouTube, and it's somebody who who knows other people in this community, but they don't know Jane Bricks. It's so weird to me, but I think there's all these like little subcircles of the communities, but they're smaller than you ever expect, and that's how it goes with hobbies, I guess.
Holly!
Hello! It is 6 a.m., so I'm just lying in bed at the moment. So don't mind me.
You're a trooper.
Thank you so much for joining.
There's no problem.
Because it is a stupidly early in the morning for you.
Yeah, a little bit, but I'll be all right. You might hear the birds chirping, but we'll be okay. I also sound like I'm asleep, but that's okay. I'm awake. Don't mind me.
If we hear you snoring, we'll virtually poke you.
Okay, good. Gentle screams as well will help me wake up.
Oh, dear. Sorry, I feel like I've just crashed the conversation there.
How's your build going, Steph? Where are you at?
I have done 3 panels so far. So I'm building the Marilyn Monroe, but I'm not trying to clip them together on the stream because that would just be crazy. But yeah, it's our last one.
Is it the one with like the dots or is it studs?
These are dots.
Dots. Well,
Which I prefer because I don't think it'll get as dusty because it hasn't got as many ridges, and it's much nicer to press everything down.
Yeah,
I was going to say, is it easier to do that with the tiles? Because, like, I found the studs, it's like, I know a lot of people were complaining about, like, how painful it was. I personally didn't mind it too much, but I haven't tried any of the tile ones. I really want to get the Disney one.
Get the Disney one. Do it. It's so good. I'm probably going to get Minnie as well.
I want Mickey and Minnie too, and they're so perfect together. They're so cute displayed together.
I think that's one of the appeals of the Disney one. It's like everything else you have to buy like 3 or 4 to create the giant one. Where I'm like, I just like having the 2. Like that seems like a lot more realistic. Like I could do that if like one goes on sale. It's a lot more appealing. I think. I mean, you could still do that with some of the other ones like Darth Vader and Iron Man. You could probably get away with 2, but like you want to get the whole thing, then you're just in trouble because you're buying 3 sets of arts.
Yeah, I like that they have like different options, like depending on like how much wall space you have and like where you want to put it. So it's pretty good.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really want them to come out with like, actual art, but like famous like pieces, like Starry Night or like
awesome.
I keep saying
I would love that.
Related, yeah, I think that'd be so cool.
Especially since I look at like the next set of ideas projects to get approved within like the next few weeks. It's like Starry Night's in there, and it just makes me think if that project got 10,000, like I really hope that gets selected. I love the look of that thing, but I'm like, if that can get 10,000 votes, it's like how has Lego Art not done that besides like maybe struggling to get the rights to it?
Yeah.
But like I
think that would sell well.
Oh, I think they'd sell brilliantly.
100%.
Are there rights to that stuff? Like, I feel like some of those classic artists, like, think about like how many times the Mona Lisa is like, redone in like boxer shorts and stamps and just like idiotic stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Well,
I wonder because I'm like, because of course there's like the section that falls under parody, but then it's like at the same time the art's been made for like years now. It's like surely that doesn't break copyright. Like if The Great Gatsby is no longer covered under copyright, surely that can't be. But then again, I look at Marilyn Monroe and I'm like, all right, well surely like that's being licensed under Andy Warhol, so surely there had to be something going on there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not impossible.
But the Andy Warhol stuff's like not that old in
It's not.
art terms.
Oh yeah, true.
It's
It's still
like 20 years.
Yeah.
no more. It's relatively mid-century, I think, right? It's
Yeah.
like, and he was in like, what is it? What's that crazy studio, like club where they all did all the drugs and stuff in New York? Studio 50. Oh my God, I'm like,
52?
I can't think of it.
No.
you know what I'm talking about, right? They had their whole like 54 Studio 54. It was like
Okay.
like Twiggy and it opened in 1927, and I think its heyday was Warhol was in the 70s. Yeah. Anyway.
So yeah, not that old. But if I guess it only depends if like whoever decides to continue the rights, or like if they put it under like maybe a company and then continue it on. Because I think maybe Andy Warhol, maybe it's like a company, but for Starry Night, I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Be a
I'm
nice
trying
one.
to think of any other art pieces. But now I can't like think of any other than that I feel like would be famous enough to sell.
I'd love a Banksy one.
That would be cool.
I think like some Monet, like the water lilies would be really good.
Yes.
Some
Or like
Seurat.
the Venus. The
Mhm.
Venus on the clamshell thing. That's Botticelli, I think.
Yeah, I think that would be really good.
Anything with pointillism. And
What's that one? It's like the gold leaf painting, and it's like the woman with like the kiss. You know that one? I don't know. I can't remember who did that one. Where is it? I will Google. I
What?
should get stuff.
Oh yeah, the Klimt.
Yeah,
I feel like the screen would look really good, but at the same
Oh,
time, I feel
yes.
like that would be a bit disturbing.
Yeah,
oh,
I
it's my
would
favorite
remember that one.
favorite painting.
Didn't someone like go on a Lego land? Wasn't that you guys that saw the Scream somewhere?
Oh, yeah. At Legoland they had a Mona Lisa. And I think they might have had the screen. It was up in one of the buildings though. It was a bit hidden away.
Yeah, like because
I mean, I guess if it's in Legoland, it's not that disturbing, so I might be able to get to it.
The iconic screen painting, I can't remember what it's called. It's Ward Castles, I believe it is, and it's the iconic screen. Who's it by? That'd be pretty cool as a art set.
Mm-hmm. And the one where like the what's the farmer like building the
Oh yeah, with the
Oh, the
wife.
Gothic American one.
American Gothic.
Yeah, that one's.
Yeah.
I know what museum that's sitting in, but I don't actually know what the name of that painting is. But I think it's like American Gothic.
I think it's American Gothic. Yeah, I think so. I can't, but that was man. This is like racking my brain, guys. This is trivia right in the morning.
I know.
It's a surprise that they haven't come out with something like that. I mean, it's Lego art. You would expect them to have like actual paintings besides just like the Andy Warhol being the only actual piece of artwork that it's mimicked after.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it could be because like Warhol is like more modern, and so like he kind of probably got his crap together and his institution together in terms of like, getting the rights to do it, and I think it's his company is like still functional. But the other guys, I don't know how that institutionalized like licensing and copyright, like Van Gogh like he sold like one painting his entire life, and so like who owns his stuff, like who owns the rights to it? Yeah, his like, did he even have kids? I don't even remember.
I don't think so, right?
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think it's also just like pop culture stuff sells. So I think that's where they're marketing their stuff too, is pop culture.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if we see actually a Nintendo one before we see anything else now.
I'm excited for Elvis Presley. I think that'll be cool if they do it right.
Yeah, this would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just hope the color scheme's a lot better than the Beatles. Honestly, it would be really cool if they did like an entire black, white, and grey one.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be really cool. I'm thinking about the Beatles. I'm thinking about getting that one. I don't know why. It like appeals to me, but I just don't know where in my house I'd put it.
That's the problem with the Beatles is like I it's not a bad design. The color scheme to me feels like a bit weird, but I get that it's based off a particular photo of them. But it's the fact that you'd have to get all 4 of them in most cases. So it's like you can't really just like, yeah, you could buy one and like build your favorite, but then you're gonna be so tempted to get the other 3 and finish it all off.
Well, they do that on purpose. They just like, that's how they pull us in, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how many times I've looked at buying 2 more Vaders after building my first one. I was like, oh, Mega Vader, even though I'm literally like, I don't want to go and try and hang 3 of these.
It would just like eat up your entire room.
Exactly.
Way too much. I've seen people do that, but I just don't think I could. I mean, even with Mickey, he's like pretty big on my wall. Him and Minnie together will be like, that's enough. You know, like that'll be plenty for now.
What are you gonna do on the other wall, like the one right behind you?
I'm not sure yet. I have my like little Scooby that I've been like writing the super chat names on, so I want to like kind of hang that up because it's just like cool. I just like it. But also, I don't know. I'll probably put a shelf up there. Honestly, like I have so much Lego I want to display, so yeah. And there's like not enough shelf space, so I might just get those like floating shelves from IKEA and kind of put them around in here because the room. So it was bound to happen.
How's your display coming along, Claire?
So I had my sitting on my dining room table, and then I like hated it because it was like, it's just too much, you know, like I couldn't even like sit down and eat, and it was like in my face all the time. So I already took it apart and put it on some shelves. Like within like a day of posting a video about it. I was like, oh well, whatever. And then I think, you know, maybe I'll just put like canceled Lego City series. No, I'm still gonna do it. But the set of shelves that I really want to get for my like Lego room it's called Vitso, and I actually ordered it in the beginning of December for the wall right behind me. So like, but not for Lego. It's like for my living room. And so like with IKEA, you know, like 4x4 will go, and then the TV will get mounted to the wall, and then like the thing that it's sitting on, all of this will be gone, and it's going to be floor to ceiling shelves. And then I'll get a gauge of like, but you have to put it together yourself, which is like why I hesitated. So because it's expensive, but anyway, whatever. So I'm gonna see how that works and how it feels, and if it works really well, then I'm gonna get the same system for like the second bedroom where I want to put the Lego stuff, and then I think that's what I'm gonna do. That's my update. But the problem, it takes like 8 weeks for it to like manufacture and ship, and so I ordered that stuff at the beginning of December. It's gonna be here in 2 weeks. So
wow.
Yeah.
That takes a while, but that'll be so cool when that's done.
I think it'll look really good. And then I'll probably like temporarily like put stuff on this shelf, you know what I mean? Because it's like I don't have enough stuff to fill it just yet. And then I can like kind of test out how it looks, and then maybe like finalize like the dimensions and stuff. Because you get to work with like a designer there, and you like they ask, they're like, what are you using it for? Like vinyls or, you know, books or whatever. And I'm just like, Lego.
Yeah. It's good. It's relatively light depending on the build.
Yeah, I was like, well, first I was like, I explained, I was like, you know, micro scale model building, architectural models, because like
jazzed it up.
Wow.
And then I was like
that too. Wow. Micro scale architecture builds.
Yeah,
models.
I mean the modulars, yeah, right.
Oh wow.
I do have actual like architecture models from grad school and stuff that I could put up there, but they're like foam core and basswood. They're like super light. So
that is so great. That's like the greatest way I've ever heard this described.
That's pretty good.
I remember when we got the roller coaster, and we went into IKEA purposely finding something to stand it on, so it's on display permanently in this room. So we literally go around IKEA measuring out, saying that this is not wide enough, this is not long enough, and we purposely bought a chest of drawers from IKEA just to fit a Lego set on it.
Perfect. Are you using the drawers at least?
Yeah, the drawers got one to use for Lego pieces, so. But yeah, it's quite handy. But yeah, it's always fun. You need to find something IKEA, and you're asking them, saying, "What do you need it for?" To store displays on it. Is that all really nice statues? No.
Yeah, man, IKEA, I feel like it's the Lego collector's best friend.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, so all the shelves we have in this room is all from IKEA as well as the Algot shelving, so you can move them up and down. It's quite handy, but yeah, always good to try and find solutions to fit Lego.
Yeah, I think the that's the problem with the Billy bookcase is like you can't move them. Like it's not modular. Like if you wanted to change like how you were doing your display, you're kind of stuck unless you get like shelf dividers like within that, which is fine too. But yeah, ideally it's like something modular. You know, I feel like there's not a lot of options out there, which is kind of interesting. Maybe I should start like a Lego shelving company.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
That would make so much money if you did like a
That'd be good. I feel like the key would be custom width.
Custom
Like that is one thing that I'm struggling right now. I'm like, I need shelves, but like the wall space that I have in my room is I think 85 centimeters long, and then every single IKEA shelf is like a meter.
Yeah,
So
every
all
single one
too
is
long. And I'm like, I don't want to use a plank of wood because I know it's going to be too heavy.
Yeah.
So it's like I need to go to a hardware store, need to go to good old Australian Bunnings warehouse and try and find some sort of material and brackets and just like DIY my own shelves now.
You can totally do it. Do you know? I mean, I can help you if you want. Do you know what kind of construction your house is? Is it wood or metal?
I'm pretty sure there's like 2 wooden slats that are going up, and I can't figure out, or off the top of my head, I don't know how far up they are. So I need to get a shelf that's wide enough that I can line the brackets up with them, and then maybe I'll stick the shelf out on the sides depending on how big. But then I don't know what sets I'd be able to put on there.
Yeah, so you can there's like you might even be able to do the math like online and stuff like that, but basically like usually studs like the verticals are like 12 to 24 inches on like 18 to 24 inches on center.
Yeah.
And then that's like where your brackets are going to be. And then obviously the wider or the deeper the shelf, right? The like more torque or like the less stuff you can put on it, right?
Yeah.
But then you can get like MDF or like any engineered wood product that's like, oh my God, sorry guys, I'm so boring. But Holly, if you need help or if anybody needs help on like shelving and like building that stuff, like please feel free to reach out.
No, sometimes you have to, like this desk here.
Yeah.
The space it's in is so awkward because when we bought the house, the builders do not believe in straight walls or flush walls. So one side is one length and the other is completely different. So it's a case of me and Craig were doing 2 different measurements. We're saying, is this measurement? Is this one? So we got the actual, cut it down to size because it's actually a kitchen worktop, I think. Because it's the only one will fit in. And we had to kind of lift up and shove it into the space because both like the actual measurements were wrong. But it's like looking around everywhere trying to get the right size desk for the space, which is impossible. It's just like, okay, we're going to go to the hardware store, get a kitchen table, get some legs, boom, done. So sometimes it's the case you have to make something to just get it fit or to get what you want.
Especially in like older houses and stuff that are like made out of wood, you know, they like settle in like weird ways. Like my dad's house is like that, and it's like everything kind of like bows just a little bit, and like, you know, it's I think his house is like 200 years old or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, we were thinking about kind of like DIYing our Lego city, especially like since it's so many different tables and it's like $50 a table or something, like it definitely adds up. But then we were like, oh wait, like we don't have like saws or like anything to cut wood, and like I don't know, like however we do it, it won't be as good as if we just bought it. Like it wouldn't be even, the legs probably wouldn't match up or anything like that. So we just went ahead and bought them, but I mean it was still pretty cheap because it's IKEA. So like, yeah, we were gonna try it. We just nope.
If you ever need like a custom piece of wood cut, you can just go to Home Depot and like you give them the dimensions and they'll do it for you, or like Lowe's or something in the US. Yeah, which is pretty decent. I've done that a couple times.
That is super handy.
Yeah, like if you like get your IKEA tables and there's like a sliver or something like missing that you want to fill in or something, you can do that and then like just like attach the IKEA legs to it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Our problem with the IKEA legs were just too tall for this room.
Yeah, you guys got like special ones from Amazon or something. I saw that.
Yeah, we did, although we're just about to remove all of them.
What? No way.
Because the problem is like because we've like raised it to put the train under. Now all the buildings are like can only go in the middle. It's like there's no space, so we now need to lower the whole city again.
Oh my god, you're gonna have to do like a house like renovation, right? I mean, for the Lego City.
We've renovated the house.
Oh, I know.
but we decided to move the Lego room up here. It's like, slanted roofs.
Yeah, it definitely takes a ton of space, this hobby. Yeah, because we used to live in like a tiny apartment, and like that's like when we rebooted the channel, and I was like, okay, how can I like make this area look decent? And it just didn't at all. So I'm like happy we moved here. But yeah, like we basically just had like one shelf and then like some IKEA bookshelves, kind of like the middle thing here. And oh gosh, like we had a shelf city essentially. Like it was just kind of like 3 modulars up there. It's hard. Like you definitely need room for this hobby.
That's my dilemma right now, because I'm in my living room, so I had to kind of take over a corner and then just quickly ran out of space. So, and I wanted another shelf, but there's really nowhere else for me to put the shelf. So
yeah.
We really need to start breaking some stuff down and putting it in like Ziploc bags so that I have like I can just store it away. It will take up slightly less space in like a storage bin, and then I can keep building all this new stuff as well. But then I'm like, oh, I also need new shelves. I just do not have enough vertical storage in this one room.
Yeah.
I'm even thinking about building something and putting it on top of my Kallax like square shelf, and then like having a second like skinnier kind of platform on top of there and creating a tier almost. I feel like that could be a good solution.
Yeah.
That could work, yeah.
And you put like smaller sets or brick heads or something on like the
Yeah, that would be really good.
It's like pretty cool as well. Good storage as well there.
But also boxes. Like I've flattened them all down for the most part and then put them inside like the Disney train box and the Disney castle box at Diagon Alley. And they're like still taking up so much space. I'm like, I feel like I should just get rid of them. But then I know like, especially the bigger sets, I don't want to get rid of them or like anything like special or like 18 plus. But then I look back and I'm like, I've got boxes from 2010 in my attic. Like I feel like this is a stupid decision if I stop now.
Well, no,
I'm trapped.
I totally get it. That's the thing. I just threw out a ton of boxes. I threw out all of my Scooby-Doo boxes that I bought. I threw out all of like.
I think I've still got mine.
Yeah, I threw
They're
out. In
like a bin bag, and just like protected from dust.
I couldn't do it, guys. I threw out my Indiana Jones boxes. And then some big ones like modulars, Ninjago City. It all went. Last week, I was like, I can't do this anymore. This is ridiculous. I live in a 2-bedroom apartment. Like, I cannot have boxes like out.
See, that's what I need to do. It's like I'm trapped now, and I'm like, I need to get rid of this now before it's like I get too far into it.
Yeah,
and I cannot throw anything away.
That's exactly what I thought, because I was like, if I keep doing this, like, if I actually, because before I like my old boxes and stuff, like for my Indiana Jones sets and stuff, they were actually the storage box for it. And the thing is like now I know better, and like I know it would be more compact in like a plastic container, you know. And so I would never actually put it back in the box to store it. And so I was like, okay, so I just did it. I was like, if I keep keeping these things, I'm going to keep them for the rest of my life. And and I kept like and Lex Daily Brick, I kept like the Wonder Woman one. I'm keeping those like the ones that I can use for storage that like kind of flip open from
the pizza boxes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, I something all like that.
Yeah, I definitely don't want to get rid of Steamboat Willie for that reason. I'm like, this is too functional.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But something like that, it's just I love the box art design, and I'm like, that one is like so cute. Same with the Disney Castle and like the big ones. I'm like, I feel horrible like spending that much money on a set and then getting rid of that box. Like I feel like I need to have everything for those D2C sets. Whereas like now I'm like, all right, well maybe I could get rid of like my X-Wing box or my like third Hogwarts expansion. Like, do I really need this one? But then I've still got them all. I don't know. Maybe I just have to like pull them all out, look at it, and then just throw them away.
Yeah, pull them all out.
Brings you joy.
Yeah, put them in like in the middle of your room, and then like process like how much space that is. But you know what? I mean, like if you have room, like in your house now, maybe just like keep them until until like you move out, and then like when you're actually going to physically move these boxes, and you're like, okay, this kind of
That's true. Get rid of them then when you have to kind of get them all out.
I do know that Emily moved with her empty boxes.
I was about to be like, yeah, like literally, we bought the Falcon at our old place, and like, I mean, that box is like gigantic. Like
That's
big.
a hard thing. So I feel like if I don't mind me coughing.
It's literally so it came like in the box, like that brown box from Lego. You know how it just says like Lego on the side from the Lego store. Like they just gave us like the big box. So we have the Falcon box inside that like brown box, so it's like protected, and there's like nothing in it. It's just like the box, and it takes up literally this much
You didn't even
space.
put anything in it. Oh, see, that's the thing. It's like I know if I bought that set, like hopefully one day, fingers crossed, probably won't, but I really want it. It's like if I ever did, I would have to like I want to keep that box. But I'm like, it's such a cube. It's not like it's a rectangle like the rest of them. So I would need to be able to shove a bunch of other stuff in it.
Other boxes.
Like,
And I feel like I'd be alright.
It's like,
You
no,
guys-
don't touch it. Like it has to be protected. Don't set anything on it. I'm like, okay. Like I guess
This is Ross, not you. This is Ross.
yeah, that's Ross. I'm like, why don't we like do something functional? But it's good. It's good. It'll just sit there. Sorry, Ross.
Let's cut it up and stick it in a picture frame. Actually,
Right, just take a picture of it.
idea.
But then that's precious room for shelves or mosaics. Like what?
Yeah, I think we keep all the boxes, but recently we've gone a bit more harsher on the Brickhead ones. So unless they're special edition, like the Disney ones or the Ghostbusters Back to the Future, they're just gonna get flattened and thrown in the bin. But otherwise, yeah, we've gone into the whole phase of they're going in the attic and they're boxes within boxes, so they're all protected at least. And the big sets obviously help a lot, so you can just throw them in there, especially like with the Firehouse and Disney Castle because they're currently on display. So it doesn't matter if we use those boxes, but yeah, we don't have the heart to actually throw them out.
No. If I had an attic, I would have done exactly the same thing. It's just like I tried. They were under my bed, and I was like, wait. Do I throw out my shoes or these boxes? It's the boxes. And then I moved them into like a closet, and it was like, okay, wait a second. Do I throw out the boxes or my coats? Okay, the boxes. Like, I mean, these were real conversations. Like,
It's coronavirus. You're not going anywhere.
no, I don't wear my clothes. Oh man.
Oh, it was so good when I like finally decided to flatten them down because I was one of those people that would keep them all built up before.
That's hard.
And I was like, oh no, it was just so refreshing when I cut them all up, except the thumb tab ones. I'm like, they have to stay up. Like, luckily there's not too many of them, but it's now a pain because I'm like, oh great, now I need to find flattened boxes that will fit in these thumb tab boxes, and it's just like taking up more space. But then at the same time, I'm like, I can't throw away my Monster Book of Monsters one because I feel like, oh, that's still kind of a rare, hard to find set since it was a gift with purchase. But then that box is so big and square and thumb tabby that I can't cut it down.
It makes such a difference to flatten them. I have had always to flatten my boxes here because I live in a really, really small apartment in Europe. So it's like there's just absolutely no space. So I actually flatten all mine, especially the big ones. They go in between a bookshelf and the wall. So they're really like forced to not go anywhere and they stay back there. Even if I don't ever need them, it's just nice to know you have them.
But you're gonna but there's still only X amount of room, right? Like, and then you have the what's next, Sarah? What's the
eventually we'll buy another apartment, and I told Michael if we just convince the people next door that we could buy their apartment, then that can be like a Lego apartment,
Oh, got it.
Yeah, we can have a box room.
I honestly thought about that. Like, I remember when I was like bringing out all my Lego sets, I was like, maybe I can buy the apartment next door and like connect to apartments.
I'm just gonna tell the neighbor, like, hey, I need some space for my toys. Can you think about maybe moving out? No.
The apartment behind behind this wall is like my bedroom, and then there's the shared wall. That one is actually up for sale right now.
I see opportunity.
Buy it.
Investment opportunity. Just rent it out for a couple of years, and then you like can move into it when you're really like busting for space.
So is your second room already filled?
No, my second, I actually rearranged everything. So I had my office like up against, or like my desk where like I have my like big monitor for work and stuff. That was like up against the window, and it was like way too bright. So I actually moved everything around. But the problem is like that's the smallest room in my house, and I use it as a workout space. Like I have like a bike and like weights in there. I use it as my office for like real work. So it's like, you know, I have like my whole setup there, and then I use it for my Lego room. And it's like, there's no other space in my house that's like multifunctional like that. And it's the smallest room. No, I'm actually, I don't know, San Francisco, man, you guys, it's so expensive here. If I want more space, I think I'd have to leave. And I want a pool. So.
Highly recommend.
Yeah,
highly recommend.
I would love a pool. Like that's really it. It's not even about the Lego. So, which means like totally changing climates as well. So
that's true. I remember when I went to San Francisco, it was quite rainy and cold. I mean, usually it looked quite sunny, and then we went and it was just raining, and I was like, "This is fun."
It rains a lot. It rains a lot, and even make an exercise. Oh, you know what? I think that's a great idea. That would be awesome, like a motorized version.
Yeah,
the new chain links. Brickathon or something like that. Yeah. No, I really want to do a Lego city in there because like I want to call it plasticity. But I feel is that too meta? Is that like yeah, I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to wait till I move. So instead of like thinking about that, I'll just build more Lego and make it harder to move.
And then you'll have more stuff to move as well.
When we were moving, like we had bought a bunch of sets kind of recently because we didn't know when we were moving, but we like wanted the sets kind of ASAP. But we didn't end up building them for a while because we're like, well, we might move soon, and so like that's why I just built like the Mickey and Minnie, the buildable ones and stuff like that because I bought them forever ago. But it was like, well, I can move this box and have it be easy, or I can like break them down and hopefully they don't actually break and put them in tubs and bags and like make a hassle out of it. So moving with Lego sucks. Like,
yeah,
that's what I'm very worried about because I'm like, I feel like I'm gonna have to break down everything and then rebuild it all, unless I can try and like, I mean, I guess I could take apart the Disney castle, put it in its 3 parts, and like try and wrap it in bubble wrap and stack it. But even then, something still is gonna like break off. I don't know. I worry about that all the time. I'm like, when that day comes, it's going to be very painful.
Do you think like would your family like let you keep a room like in your house and maybe like you don't move everything?
Probably. I think they'd let me like keep like at least half of it because like I could probably put it all in like a box and then put a box in the attic. Along with all the other things. I mean, we've still got like Littlest Pet Shop from when I was like 10 up there, which I think definitely should be thrown away at this point. Probably just swap that out. Because like we keep all the boxes up there for the most part, and then I've got like half of them in my room. But then the other thing is, it's like at some point at this moment, I'm probably going to move internationally. So I'm like, oh dear, how's that going to work? But then like first stage, yeah, I think I'll definitely be able to get a room, or even I'll just end up like I'll just get my family to slowly ship me everything. I think that would be a really good option.
Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Or like every time you go home, you only take like a small carry-on, and then you take, you bring back like
shove it all in it,
bags or something like that. I think Sarah, you did that when you did the move, right?
I was going to say international moving is very interesting. And I actually wasn't collecting Lego before I moved from the US. I only started it when I was already here in the Netherlands. So if I'm ever thinking of going back to the United States, I'm making my life very difficult as every year goes by, like buying more and more Lego.
Because that's what I think about. Because I was like, when I was younger, we moved we moved from the UK to Australia to Germany, and then we're back in Australia. So we've done so many international moves. But then I think back and I was like, I didn't have any Lego, or I had like a tiny bit as a kid, but most of that came from when we moved back here for the second time. So it's like I didn't have to like transport anything. Like I had tons of other toys and like all of my Barbies and like doll houses and things like that. We've still got moving boxes that we're using as storage, and it's like been like what 13, 14 years at this point. But I'm like, all right, well, at least I can ask like my parents how they did it. What shipping companies did you use? How did you stack everything? How did you break everything up? But even still, I'm like, oh dear, something's gonna happen.
I did bring like many large boxes of comic books here and also a very large video game collection. So there was a lot of stuff that had to come. Most people like don't bring anything when they move internationally. They only bring like suitcase type stuff. Like, and that's where you put your most sentimental, like I cannot lose my photo albums or whatever, my yearbooks.
wish
You
I
bring
could do
that
that.
with you. You don't let anybody take that away from you because you don't know, you know. Jewelry and stuff like that. But other than that, we did pay for a shipping container, and it wasn't done by weight, so you could load it up with as much stuff as you wanted to, but it was pretty expensive. Like it was over $5,000, I think, to have a very small shipping container with just essential things. Yeah.
So I guess maybe I will be able to bring all of my minuscule amount of furniture with me then.
Probably not furniture. I didn't bring any furniture because it didn't fit at all. Yeah.
I mean, all I've got is like a bedside table and like 2 sets of drawers. Maybe we'll just get away with it.
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I would prioritize definitely your collectibles and Lego stuff over furniture.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because most of it's like IKEA, so I could just buy a new bookcase. Like
Yeah,
my
exactly.
bedside table,
I had like millions of Billies in the US. I got rid of all my white Billies. I was super sad about it because I had like a 1,000+ book collection. Got rid of all my books. Almost.
Wow.
Yeah, I got rid of so much when I moved here.
Oh my God. No, yeah, the furniture, like the IKEA furniture, it's quite literally disposable furniture. Like that's why
that's the beauty of it. It's like you can just rebuy it.
It's
like
also
I said to my mum, I was like, oh, like, yeah, I bought this cabinet, but I was like, chances are I'll probably just let you keep it and then buy a new one.
Well, you can't, like, if you try to move it, you don't take it apart because the MD, like the wood, it's not real wood, right? It's like a compressed fiber.
Like a cardboard thingy.
Exactly. And so like anyway, it just leave it. But but everybody has stuff, like, even like non-Lego collectors. Imagine people with like huge kitchens or like massive like makeup collections or books or something like that. I think so when I was little, we moved to the UK, and luckily it was like with my dad's company, and they moved us, and it was like movers came and they packed it professionally, and it was like it probably cost like the company like, I don't know, $7,000 in like the mid 80s.
I feel like it's so different when you're moving with a company or for a job, because if they pay for your move, like we used to move a lot, even internationally. We lived in Germany for a few years when I was a kid. We lived in Brussels, Belgium, which is actually really close to where I am now, but we lived there for 3 years. But it was always army moving and government paying for it, so it wasn't as bad. But when you
I think a lot of ours was like companies paying for our moves, luckily, but even then I'm like, a company paying for that and like all of the like 2 children's worth of toys, like, oh
yeah,
you sure you want this candidate? Like I'm glad we got to move so many times, but like, why my dad particularly? Is it financially worth it for you?
And you have to pay for it yourself though. Like there's like an antique chair I just got rid of, and even something my mom gave me, like this chest that I had. She was like, never get rid of this, it's really special. Got rid of it, got rid of all my furniture. Yeah, it's horrible. Like I had barely any time when I was moving here. So there's so much stuff that I'm just like, think about it sometimes where I'm like, should I really have gotten rid of that? Like, what should I have done? But it's tough when you move international. It really is.
It's hard. Yeah. I mean, like the US is also so big that like the move that I'm considering doing is 3,000 miles. And
that would be practically like an international move.
Yeah, it might as well be, right? But it's like, and I've moved a lot. Like I used to, when I went to college on the East Coast, but like in college you don't have a lot of stuff. So I just like filled my car back up and drove over. That was like,
yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, and it was like an adventure with like one of my girlfriends. It was great. And then I did the like Colorado, San Francisco thing, and the Portland, San Francisco one, but if I go any further, and now I've been here for 5 years and I have so much stuff, and I like having all my stuff with me. It's like I'm such a little hoarder, you know what I mean? But like, I don't know if you guys feel that way too, but like when your stuff is like with you like feel settled, and it's like, it's so dumb. It's like at the end of the day, it's like all that matters is like me and my cat. Like and maybe like a couple pieces of jewelry because like I lost my mom a few years ago. So like that, like that's it. That's like really it. But I mean, all the Lego is replaceable technically, right? You can get that Pirates Black Pearl set again, can't I?
Yeah.
I paid so
For
much
an arm
money.
and a leg.
Might need to
Like-
sell a kidney, but like, yeah, you can.
Whatever. Yeah, it's just a kidney. I got two, right?
Nothing major.
2 years before I moved here to the Netherlands, I actually made my own cross-country move as well. I moved from Ohio to Washington State, and I just loaded up a U-Haul with like all my stuff and paid a bunch of money to like have this huge U-Haul bring like my car and the U-Haul full of everything I had, all my shelves, like IKEA furniture, and then just to get rid of it all like a year and a half later to move again.
Gosh.
That's crazy. That a year and a half later, that's really short. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't planning on meeting Mike, so I was like, I'm gonna go to Washington State and live outside of Seattle and like live my dream. And then I met him, so
It's his fault.
yeah, it is.
Man, yeah, we only moved across town in Austin, like maybe 10 minutes drive away. And that was exhausting. Like that was so much work. Like we were stressed. Like it was terrible. We had to like, I mean, because we definitely upgraded too, so we had to like get more furniture and everything. But like just moving all of our Lego, like, and Ross was like working really hard that time. It was like very like stressful in his job at that time when we were moving. And like he wouldn't let me pack the stuff up because he's like, no, like it has to be a certain way. Like these are my sets. Like they have to be really good. And I'm like, look, man, like it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. And he's like, no. Like has to go in this bag, and he's like all stressed. And the Disney castle like fell apart, and the roller coaster fell apart. Moving Lego is just really exhausting. Like it's so hard.
You see, with the Disney castle, I kind of broke in the car when we were moving. Because I literally had pieces underneath the actual seats, and I was trying to pull the pieces out. It was like, yeah.
You have to like pull the car apart to get to them. It's like
so it's like we never moved to Disney Castle. They're staying in the corner. It's not going anywhere. But yeah, it was just a member of the Spire broke off. Then I lost Tinkerbell. I was like, oh my god.
Oh no, not Tinkerbell. See, at least the Spire you can replace that, but Tinkerbell, oh, that's going to cost a lot to replace.
Yeah,
She was ever gone.
Don't hurt Tinkerbell, man.
Yeah, we moved like 2.5 hours up here, and Chris insisted that like I had to do all the driving for everything else, but no, for his Lego, he decided he was doing the driving, and I had to sit there with the Death Star on my lap for 2.5 hours.
baby. It's the baby.
Well, it's not even a good set to have on your lap because it's not like stable, and it's all got bits everywhere. I mean, the only thing
It's
worse,
not like it's enclosed, like the entire thing's open.
Were you in the back seat or the front seat?
I was in the front seat.
Okay, got it.
Thank goodness. And do you know what? Since we moved up here, like 3 months after, he broke it down.
I'm driving that. Oh my god. Nope.
Could have at least waited a year before breaking it.
I know. Was not impressed.
Did he break it just to light it up, or he dropped it?
I just broke it up for parts.
Oh man!
Like, come on. Not with that on my lap. No.
Yeah, I feel like those of you that are like in Lego relationships have like all these stories of like.
There's a lot of I love it, but it's all good.
Oh no, Steph! If you move again, you're gonna have the Millennium Falcon on your lap.
Oh god, that thing would be horrific. We're not moving again.
No, you guys are gonna have to like. You'll put
It in the middle of the back seat that you can stick out either side.
Yeah.
Things will fall off. Things fall off it when we try and move it up and down the stairs.
Yeah, I drop Lego all the time. It's a disaster.
Yeah. Not putting that Millennium Falcon in the car.
You should get Chris to dismantle it and make him build it again on our live stream.
Yeah, no. I'd end up having to rebuild it with all the parts he had left.
That would be even more of a nightmare because at least it's not in bags this time. It's just empty bricks.
Oh, yeah. And that was hard enough to say. Like the wind turbine, that's a set that like doesn't have numbered bags. It's just bags. And we did that on a stream, and it was just like parts everywhere. It was horrendous. I love the set; it's awesome, but just I also love numbered bags. Doing that for the Millennium Falcon, oh god, that would be horrific.
No. So I look at like people who are like selling like specifically I always see like the micro scale Hogwarts castle, and sometimes you'll see the Falcon like for resale, and I'm like, this is great because it's like people can get this like $200 cheaper, but I just don't want to think of how much of a nightmare that would be if it's deconstructed. Like I know some people will sell it like built, and you can like go and pick it up and just it will be built, and I'm like, no, if you had to break that down, like how are you going to sort that?
Oh,
Like that is going to take too long.
That's what I used to do with my sets. Like when I used to buy them and like put them away because I like didn't want to publicize my Lego hobby. I did that with Ninjago City. So I built that thing twice. Yeah. And so, yep. You need a lot of space to like lay everything out.
When you broke it down to put it away, you didn't separate it into like separate pieces or bags?
That one I didn't. Other sets I did. Most sets I did. That one was
just like 5,000 pieces or whatever. Like here you go. Oh geez.
But what I did is like basically I have like a stack of those, Sterilite containers. I have like a stack this big, and they're like, you can get them so cheap, and you basically like lay them out on a dining room table, and then you start like sorting like pieces and parts and colors and blah blah blah, and then depending how your mind works, like for me it's like I see the color first and then I see the piece versus the piece and then the color, and then that's how I would separate it.
Yeah, that's kind of sort of similar to how I'm rebuilding this thing now. I have this pre-owned Apocalypseburg that's all just in colored sorted, so I'm piece picking the bags and then building it, but you have to find all the pieces you need, and it's very time consuming.
Very time consuming.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of like older Lego Star Wars sets recently, and some of them didn't come with all the pieces. So that's kind of like the most exhausting part of it is like, okay, I want to do this on the live stream, like with Jabba's palace and then like the Rancor pit as well. Like Jabba came with everything. The Rancor pit came with most pieces, but like you want to go through and know which pieces you're missing because like maybe you have them already, like in your like just spare parts drawer or whatever. But like yeah, sorting that kind of sucks, and then it's used, so you kind of want to wash it first, and I don't know. I wish I just bought them new at this point almost, but like we did get a really good deal. So
did you know
that's the problem I have? It's like I look at like I at the moment really want to get Flo's V8 Cafe from Cars because that's one set that I really wanted when I was younger, but just never got. And it's like I'm like, oh, I could try and get this new one, but it's like twice the price of the used one. And I'm like, oh, I'd like think about it. And I'm like, well, like most of the time it's like, I would just love to get it new. Like, I don't have a problem with buying used sets. Like I'll always like go through the pain of like washing it and like drying it and making sure that everything's fine. And then like rebuilding it from just a pile, as long as it's not like too big, just because I think it's so much cheaper in that regard. And I'm like, as long as it's in a really good condition, fine to do that. But it's like at the same time I'm like, I look at it, I'm like, maybe I should just buy the new one for this one and like save myself the drama, especially with the worry about like stickered pieces. It's something I care about.
You can't wash the stickered pieces. Yeah, it's not good. I think you should see online like what if you could buy like just the sticker sheet, maybe you get them or maybe I don't know.
Then I can just like buy the parts that the stickers are on as well, because I'm always worried of like if one of them is going to be really wonky and I know it's going to do my head in.
Use the hot tea technique and adjust them. Like, so Robin Hood Bricks has this patented hot tea technique, and basically like hold a hot cup of tea, the mug next to the sticker, loosens up the glue, and then you can just tweak them and adjust them.
I might have tried that because Cargill's Queen's Anne Revenge they're all people sets, because in the UK trying to get brand new sets of the Pirates of the Caribbean stuff is extortionate.
Oh, that would be horrible.
Same here.
How much is it secondhand? And the Queen's Anne Revenge, they basically cut all the pieces coloured coordinated again. So I had to go through every single page, make sure all the pieces were there, and I numbered each bag. So bag one is all step one, so literally all in the right order. And it came to the stickers on the actual where the cannons are, and they are terrible applications. They're like half off, or they're all creased up. I need to figure out how to get it off, because looking on Bricklink, I think it's like £25 to get the sticker sheets.
Wow!
Like, you want to pay £25 for sticker sheets.
Wow!
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I mean, you could always get one of like the knockoff sticker sheets that like people make.
Yeah.
in that case.
Yeah, if you're not like too fussed about it not being genuine Lego or whatever, but I don't see a problem with that. I don't personally. But.
No. It may just go on display somewhere if you find space for it, but it's just like, yeah, it's when I was sorting to pieces, like a 2-year-old could do better than this. It was so bad.
I'm intrigued though, Emily. Did you know which pieces were missing, or was it like, oh, that's even worse? Because then you're sort of spending your time looking for the piece, expecting it to be there, and like second guessing, have I not found it? Have I?
Right. Yeah, it was a lot because I mean you have to kind of spread them all out, and they're all tan, of course, like they're all And I was like, okay, like just going through or I went back like on the back of the instructions to like pieces everything out for you. And I was like, okay, like took a pencil. I was like, do I have all of this? Check. Do I have all of this? Check. And of course it was like mostly just the small accessories, like little pins or like little studs and stuff like that I was missing. But there were like a few like integral to the construction of the build. And yeah, I was just like, well, let's just figure this one out. So it's not like a perfect I think Jabba's Palace was perfect, or no, Jabba's Palace was definitely missing some, but the Rancor Pit was good. So,
were you live streaming when you were like figuring out that there was stuff missing?
I did it ahead of the stream so that I knew what to expect. But yeah, some of it I like said I have it, and then I was like, oh wow, I like don't have this piece. This is awkward.
Like, it's over. Bye guys. Click.
Let's just pretend this worked out great and move on. So yeah. It worked out okay though. It wasn't the worst, but just yeah. I
remember when I was looking at Wally's last week, like so there was someone selling it, and it was like relatively cheap, and I was like, oh yeah, this is great. And then it was like the pieces that were missing were the printed tiles, and I was like, this is gonna be expensive to buy on Bricklink. No, thank you. I'll keep looking.
Yeah.
I've definitely made some mistakes of like trying to part out sets, and it actually being more expensive than just buying the set new on Bricklink.
Really?
Yeah, like I only did it once. Like it was one of the Lone Ranger sets, and it was like the one with the two buildings, like the green and the black building or whatever. And I ended up buying all the pieces of it, and it ended up being I didn't even like think about the minifigs for some reason. I just like wasn't. I was probably like in some kind of like fever. I don't know. It was just weird. But I didn't get the minifigs, and then I went back to get the minifigs, and they were like $40 by themselves. And parts and pieces were probably like $70 worth, and then I found it new on Bricklink for $90. So it's not like huge difference, but it definitely felt
still annoying.
Yeah, because like I still have to like separate out the pieces. Like I'm not gonna have the same build experience as like opening the box and having all the bags, and I I like the physical instruction manuals. I don't even like the online ones, and so it was just dumb. And then like especially if you like are working full time or you get paid for overtime too, you can really like value your you can like actually like apply a dollar value to your time. And so if you're like, okay, it's going to take me 8 hours to sort out this used Ninjago city set, or I could like, go to work for those 8 hours and make like $400 or so. I don't know whatever it is. And then I might as well like pay a couple $100 extra and get the new one. I don't know. I do that a lot. I will justify for that new set all the time.
That's a good way to think about it. That really is.
I used to do that with, I've been really wanting a hedgehog for a few years, and it's like $250 for like a good one from like a good breeder or something. I'm like, oh, I could get this thing, or it could be a hedgehog, or I could buy two. Like, I don't know. Yeah, I would just like justify things like that.
Are you talking about an animal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, sure.
Yeah, I'm a little.
Lego set? Is this an idea thing? I know, got it. Okay.
Yeah, I was like, what hedgehog?
You brickhead?
No, yeah. Sorry, but that's just how I would factor out things.
No, but like if you don't get it from a good breeder, they're gonna have like medical issues. It's gonna cost more money and more actual like emotional heartache, and
Right. But going on the used sets and like parting them out, like I got an old Pharaoh's Quest set. It's the like scorpion pyramid. Nice. I think. And yeah, it was super dusty. I ended up taking it back with me when I went home to Florida for like at the start of quarantine, just to like be home and not be up here by myself. But yeah, I had to like wash it, separate it, and I haven't built it yet just because I'm like it's a little overwhelming to think about like having to sort it all and then figure out what's missing and do all that. But eventually I'll get around to it, I think. Sorry, I feel like I kind of killed the momentum there.
Oh my gosh.
No, I think like I said, all the Pirates of the Caribbean sets Cargill got were all secondhand. So I literally sat down on the floor whilst he was doing a stream. I think it was the quarantine streams with Greg. So I was literally just sitting on the floor, getting all the pieces, literally spread them out all over the floor, trying to sort them. And it's like trying to make sure I'm making a list of what's missing and then having to go back, try and go to our collection, see if I got that piece, or basically just end up doing Bricknit order to replace them. But yeah, it takes a lot of time, especially like 1,000-piece sets. It's like, nah, you can't do it again. That's why I quite like when you got Jabba's Palace, you got that brand new, so I didn't have to sort them.
Yeah. Sometimes I just would rather get a new set.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking when I finally get Diagon Alley, because I'm like, it would be like the difference between the used and the new ones of like that 2011 one honestly isn't that much. It surprises me. I think it's like 100 to 200 Australian dollars, which like for a set that size and like that kind of resale value, I'm like, this actually isn't that much. And I think about it, I'm like, well, that set's like 2,000 pieces. Do I really want to like worry about like faded Gringotts, yellowing parts? Do I really want to like have to clean and like worry about this, or should I just splurge, considering it's like that one kind of like white whale set for me that I'm like, maybe I should just get this new one day.
Just do it new. Yeah, that sounds like the better option, especially if it's a set that you've really been wanting. Like I feel like
that's
special.
The one. Yeah. Anything else? I would get used, but that one, I'm like, no, I think I should go through that experience.
Yeah, that's definitely special. So
hopefully someone puts up one with like a super dented box that I can get really cheaply, and that would be perfect.
There you go. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, I'm always looking for the like brand new and damaged box.
Yeah, I think that's one of my safe searches. It's like sealed bags, open box type deal. So then, because depending on who's selling it, you can always see, because if it's like just like a mom or a grandma just trying to like clean out a closet or attic or something, she's like, oh, hey, it's already open. Like, let me put it down at a really cheap price. And that's always great.
See, Cargill's the opposite. If he sees something that's got a dent in it, he's like, do I really want to buy it this much? So if it's a creased box, he'll probably avoid it and pay a little bit extra for a brand new box. Then he opens it anyway. So,
now, do you guys complain at the stores about it?
Oh no, on eBay we always get try and get pristine ones in the stores. Unless you order from Amazon, who just slap a sticker on the box and send it to you. Then it's the case like no. They actually did that with, I think it was the Astronomy Tower last year. Got a good deal on Amazon, and then they decided to slap the actual parcel label on the box directly. It came to like box. Oh, the edges were creased. It was just like, if you try and tear that sticker off, the whole front is gone. So you complained and managed it. I think he got it. I think a little bit cheaper in Smith's then, which is a toy store in the UK. And we just sent the one back to Amazon. It's like, no, I'm not having that. And Smith shipped it in a massive box for us, so we were quite pleased with that one. But yeah, if it comes to a bit of a damaged box, we're not happy. So we ended up contacting the company. Mainly Lego have been really good recently with that one. Like they sent the was it the Star Wars Advent Calendar last year? The box was dented, but that was probably through the courier, not Lego. But they sent out a replacement and let us keep the original one. So I had the damaged one and Craggle had the new one. So it was quite good. But yeah, damaged boxes.
Yeah, Craggle, that was the big Diagon Alley as well. I saw that chat comment. But I really want to get that gift with purchase one as well. That's the one set besides the Percival Graves figure from the series 1 that I'm missing. And it's so frustrating because it's so expensive these days.
Yeah, I think we missed that.
Tiny gift of purchase. So annoying.
Yeah, we missed out on that one, sadly. But I think he's happy with the big Diagon Alley at the moment. But yeah.
I love that set. Well, that's like people are always like, "Oh, what's your favorite set?" And it's like usually like Diagon Alley is definitely like one of like my top 5. But I think overall it has to be the Disney Castle. I feel like that is just such a statement piece. It's so pretty. It's timeless as well. Like I think that overall has to be my favorite set. Sorry, Diagon Alley, as pretty as you are.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so cool because, like, I grew up, like, 20 minutes from Disney World. And so just, like, it's so cool having this set that, like, really represents my childhood. Like, we were there probably at least 2 or 3 times a month, you know, like, almost every weekend. And, I mean, it's just so beautiful. It's, like, in our Lego city. It's huge. The figures are awesome. Like, there's so many little details inside it, too, that I just always forget about until I, like, really look at it again. It's such a cool set.
Yeah, I really want to do a video because it needs dusting. So I'm like, all right, firstly, we'll do a dusting video where I just clean my Disney castle, kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Perfect. And then I bought recently the little 3 bears from Brave off Bricklink. Like some seller had all 3 of them. And I was like, perfect. Like I've been waiting for this. Ordered all 3 of them and I want to put them like next to the bow and arrow where like Merida's target is, and like I put a bunch of like Beauty and the Beast and kind of like upgraded the inside to have like more references. So I really want to do a video on that, but I'm like, I don't want to put the bears on it until this thing's clean. I was like, I'm just putting it off until I can like get my vacuum and like my makeup brushes and just go to town on cleaning this thing.
Gosh, yeah, mine's so dusty too. It's embarrassing. Like a lot of our Lego sets are pretty dusty. It's just a lot of work. Like I just need to do it, you know, but I just don't really want to.
Yeah,
You get dusty so quick.
The Temple of Air Jitsu, I'm gonna have to take it all apart and just clean it all with some soapy water and then put it back together again, because where it's on display now, it's got a layer of dust. Bear in mind, I dust it quite often. I'm like, I need to clean these pieces actually using water now. It's that bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about with the castle. If I leave it for too long, then I'm going to have to take it apart and clean it. And I'm like, no. Like, yes, I could do it in 3 sections, luckily, because that build is like separated. But I'm still like, no. Like I did that with the Great Hall last year, or was it earlier this year? And I took it all apart and cleaned it. And that wasn't too bad because it was like 900 or so pieces. It's like anything larger than that, I do not want to try and take apart if I can avoid it, which is such a like a problem because it means I have to like continually like dust check it like once a month, make sure that nothing's like floating around. And usually I can just get away with like brushing a makeup brush over it and just splaying it. And then when I vacuum the floor later that day, like it would all get picked up. But I'm like, no, I should probably do like a proper clean. Like it's almost been a year now since I bought that set. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
I can't imagine having to dust like a large Lego city. Like I watched a video of Alex Nunez having to clean his whole city, and I would say his city probably has to be about the size of my apartment. I don't know. It's massive, but to go through there and like look at the all the figures and the crevices of the hair pieces and all the buildings, like that's.
I don't even want to think about that, honestly. I'm just like stressed out. Like I really need to do that, and I don't want to. Like
that is one video that I would love to see Brixie do, is him dusting his Lego basement. That would be the best.
I would have to like watch that as motivation while I dusted mine, because otherwise I'll be like, no, it's fine. Like no one else will see it, right? Like it's totally good, but.
No, you guys gotta like break your sets more often, and then you automatically are like cleaning them. That's what I do. You have to be like indecisive about how you want your Lego city to be. So every time you move stuff, you just like clean it and stuff. That's what I do.
Yeah, we're so indecisive, so that'll probably work for us.
Yeah.
Bricknit's like, what is dusting?
Lego.
Yeah, so I'm allergic to dust, so I have to dust all the time, which is like what is also terrifying about having a Lego city.
Oh gosh. Yeah, same with Ross. He's like very allergic to dust. And, like, well, because then when you actually dust it, then it's like all in the air, and then like he just feels gross all day.
Exactly.
It's hard.
Do you guys have an air filter or whatever? Like like maybe get one you can get one of those air filters. They're pretty good. I have that. It helps a lot. Yeah.
No, we don't have that. We have one of those like spray bottles, like for keyboards, like the air spray.
The compressed air.
Yeah, we have that, but like the dog hates it, so we have to like coordinate with the dog and like check her schedule and like make sure she's somewhere else, because like we'll like throw her outside or something. But she'll just be like, oh my God.
Do you see this like moving thing in the corner? It's like a big it's like behind the chair.
Is that the Dyson fan thing?
Yeah. I got it. I got it because of like all the fires like in California and stuff. And there was like so much ash. Like there's always ash like on my patio furniture and stuff like that. It's just always covered. But yeah, it's just it's actually helped a lot, mostly with the dust and just like particles in the air. It's pretty decent. Yeah, but it's also like absurdly expensive.
I was looking at one of those fans like when my old one broke. And I was like, Mom, can I please get the Dyson fan? Like, please. Like, I do not do well in the heat. And I was like, at least, like, you can actually feel the air, like, coming off it with that one. But she was like, no. Like, this is ridiculously expensive. And I was like, okay, fine. Like, I don't really want to pay that much either. So we found this, like, tower fan, which is, like, this little, like, black... just a tower, basically, like I explained it. And luckily it shows the temperature as well on it of like the room. Like I thought at first it was the temperature of like the air that it was pushing out, but no, it's the temperature of the room, which has been the most helpful tool now. Because when it gets to like a really hot day and I'm like, I'm dying in here, like my room's at the front where it gets the most sunlight. I'm like, I'm dying up here. Like, can we please turn the aircon on? It's like, oh, but it's really cool downstairs. I'm like, it's 32 degrees Celsius in here. It's like, I'm going to burn. It's like mid 90s Fahrenheit. I'm like, please, I'm suffering and I'm trying to like run my computers, and they're like, oh, it's because you've got all your devices on. I'm like, I've been on my computer trying to work for half an hour. The blinds are all shut. I'm working in a cave. I'm still dying, please.
In your room. Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. No, but at least now you just needed a thermometer or whatever, and now
and now I have proof. And literally my mom will be like, is it hot upstairs? And I'm like, yeah. And she's like, what does your fan say? I'm like, 30 degrees. She's like, right, aircon. I'm like, thank you.
That's so nice. And stuff that I feel like in theory you should have like your own system for like that area of the house, you know, so you can like, you know, turn it on just there, not everywhere else.
Literally, it would be the best. It's like, even sometimes I'm like, can we just turn it on in the bedrooms, even though it would be on then like 2 other rooms that no one's in? It's like, oh no, like let's put it on in the whole house. I'm like, yeah, but you didn't want it before, so stop complaining.
Yeah, there you go. They're just using you as a crutch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of nice where we live because like it's a 2-story house, and I guess this is a thing here. Like you have an upstairs AC and a downstairs AC, and so like you can keep the upstairs like really warm, and especially like working from home, our offices are upstairs and everything. So like we don't really have to use the downstairs one, but like we can kind of focus on like where we're gonna be, so we can just like heat the downstairs or the upstairs or both or whatever. Like it actually does really help. And like here it's just like super hot all the time. I'm like, yes, I'm all cozy. Like this is perfect.
I know some people as well have got like timers on theirs, and our house we like built, so it's only like 13, not even that, I think it's like 12 years old or something, and ours doesn't have a timer. I'm like, how do people with like older air conditioning units have a timer and we can't have that simple feature? So it's like so annoying because it's like we can't just like have it on. Usually we'll turn it off like as everyone's going to bed at like 11 p.m. So it's like usually my dad will come up last, so he'll turn it off right before bed. I'm like, you know what would be helpful if we just had a timer? So this would be automatic. If we can buy light bulbs that turn on automatically that we can control with Google Home, surely we can get a timer for an air conditioner.
It's true. Yeah, that's kind of, I feel like if you don't even have to change the whole system, you can just change the control or whatever. I don't know though. But yeah, no, Emily, that's pretty new, and like it's pretty common in newer homes because like the heat rises, right? You don't want to, and then it's more energy efficient too. So you're not like, you know, cooling or heating the entire house at the same time.
Yeah, it definitely makes sense. Like I get why they do it, but yeah, I'm just like not used to that because our house, like back from Orlando where I grew up, like there was just one, and it was always just freezing upstairs or really hot.
It's just cold.
Yeah, it's just cold or hot as hell. That's like the only. Yeah.
Like okay, great.
Yeah, the place I lived at before this place, when I first got to Virginia, it was exceptionally hot upstairs, and that's where my room was. So like, I just felt like there was we had one vent in there, and it was horrendous. And like sometimes I would leave the blinds open just to like get some light, but that was a grave mistake because then I would get back and it would be, probably it felt like 90s, and I was like, well, I left Florida for a reason. Like, oh gosh.
Yeah. Would you guys ever go back to Florida?
Yeah.
You would, CC? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I really like Texas. Like, I love Austin. It's just like such a fun city, especially for young people. So, I don't know. Like, plus, like, my husband's job's here, so like, we're gonna stay. But it was fun growing up there for sure. Like, there was definitely a lot to do. Like, there was a lot of fun, like amusement parks and all that. And I still go back to visit because my parents still live there. And like, we went to like Legoland and Disney back in early March, like before the world got crazy. And that was really cool. So like we're able to go do stuff like that, but I wouldn't move back, I don't think. Where in Florida are you from, CC, if you don't mind?
North Florida.
North Florida. Okay, cool.
Yeah, one of my best friends just moved to Austin in June. Obviously I haven't visited her yet, but I mean she's loving it so much, and like they just like upgraded from like a tiny 1-bedroom apartment here to like I think a 5-bedroom house or something insane like that. And she's so happy. But like and I'm actually where I'm thinking about is I love Miami, and which like as a city, and it's like a lot of my family lives in South America, so like I'd love to be able to see them more often. And but the weather, man, it sounds very, very, very hot. But I think I'd prefer it over San Francisco.
Miami is brutal, like very humid, hot. Like, because we used to do Christmas down there because my grandparents lived there, and like it would be like 95 degrees on Christmas.
That sounds awesome.
It's crazy.
I hate a hot Christmas.
That sounds like every other year.
I don't like cold.
I die every year. Actually, it was cooler this year. It was nice. I could actually wear my like Christmas pajama pants. I got a bit hot at some points, but you know, it was all right.
Yeah, I would not be used to that.
Yeah, hot Christmas is not fun.
Yeah.
I've had way too many hot Christmases. My parents lived in Aruba for like 5 years, and I would go to visit them for Christmas every year. And then when they moved back to the U.S., they chose Florida because they wanted something super hot, just like Aruba. And I was like, I don't want to go visit you guys for Christmas in that hot weather.
So I feel like lucky because like I look at like Florida, and I remember the 2 times I've gone there, it just being really humid as well. It's like the heat's one thing, but when it's humid as well, it's like no. So it's like for the most part, it's like at least where I am in Australia, it's not too humid all the time. Like you'll get some really humid and hot days, but like for the most part, like it's just hot. So it's like it's not as bad as I think Florida would be on like a super hot day. So yeah, I don't know how like you guys would deal with that.
Yeah, well, Emily, it's pretty dry, right, where you are?
In Texas, yeah. Like it's weird though, because like people here, a lot of them are from Houston, where it's like right on the coast, so it's like super humid there, and they're like, oh wow, like Austin is so humid, or it's so dry compared to there. And I mean, I don't think it's that much drier. I mean, it's definitely not humid like Florida, but I mean, there's like cactus and stuff. Like it's definitely like a different climate than tropical Florida, where there's like alligators and like iguanas in Miami and just all stuff like that. I like the climate. It doesn't rain too much. It gets kind of cold sometimes. It's kind of nice.
It snows for the once in a lifetime.
What was that, Holly?
And it snows like once in a lifetime.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, did you guys see that? It snowed here like 3 weeks ago. Oh my gosh, it was awesome. That was so cool. Does it ever snow where you're at, Holly?
It does but you have to go like down south, and even then it's like if you were going to go on like a ski trip, which we were hoping to do last year, but no, it was too hard with all of the restrictions to get tickets. There was like waiting lines of like a day to get through to the website. It was wild. Wow. But it's like, even then it's like half of the snow is man-made. So they'll just put like the snow guns off, and then you've got like a tiny thin base of actual snow. And it's like skiing on just straight ice. It is not as fun.
No, yeah, that's not as
good. It does happen.
Man, I did not know that there was skiing in Australia, so I
highly wouldn't recommend. Go to New Zealand.
Yeah, it's like people go to New Zealand.
They got snow, we've got ice.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, I'd love to make my way over there at some point. We just like I've never had like a reason to, I guess. But yeah, that'd be super cool.
It's a challenge though. Australia's so far away from everything, it just costs so much to get there.
It does, yeah. Actually, it's pretty
24-hour flight in like a cramped seat. Oh, I don't visit my family in the UK. No. Just too painful.
Too much. Yeah, I think it's 14 direct Sydney, San Francisco. I've done that a couple times. It's actually not that bad. It's like
that one's too bad. Especially depending on like the flight time. Like usually the way out is painful because it's like in the middle of our day and then you arrive and it's 6 a.m.
Yeah.
But like coming back, it's like I can always like sleep and then I arrive in the morning and I feel like relatively refreshed. I'm like, this is good.
Yeah, like that direction or like going to like Asia, the Asia SF, like those flights like are fine with like sleep deprivation, but like going like every time I've come back from like Israel or like Europe and coming back to home, I am a disaster. Like I literally fall asleep at like 6 p.m. for 2 weeks straight, like just like wherever I am, like complete narcolepsy. But I don't know. But yeah, guys, I think Miami is calling my name. I think I'm gonna go sweat it out for like a few years.
You can get your pool. It would be like if you actually be able to use the pool as well.
Exactly. I'll be like Jabba, just like sitting in my pool.
Awesome.
No, you'll be more graceful than that.
Man, that Cuban food though is so good.
Apparently with my Lego. There's that. Did you guys ever see like it was Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. Did you guys ever see that movie? It was really old.
What is it?
Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. Anyone? Oh man, there's this like scene in it basically where he's like it's like a total like it's a total parody movie, but he's like his manager, I guess I'll call it just to be more family appropriate right now, but his manager is like they have their meetings in the hot tub and he's constantly like eating in the hot tub and he'll drop food in the hot tub and like pick it up and put it back on like a hot dog or, like, an ice cream cone. He'll like pick up the scoop of ice cream, put it back. Yeah, Crackle remembers that film, but there's those scenes were like so foul that like I just remember them for years. They're so bad. Anyway, I don't recommend that movie. Sorry, that was bad.
I like it.
What movie is that?
Deuce Bigelow, Male Gigolo. God, what was that? I can't remember the comedian's name. Let's see. Came out in 1999. I think I just
really did that long ago.
Yeah, it's Rob Schneider. It's a Rob Schneider film.
Oh, is that okay? I think I saw the second one, maybe the early 2000s. I probably was not allowed to watch that. Yeah, 99 now.
I don't know how I watched it. I was like 13. Like I probably saw it like way later. Yeah.
Has anyone gotten any of the Lego botanical sets and or the tulips or roses yet? And if so, which ones?
I wish I did. I don't have any yet.
No, not yet.
I own all of them, but I haven't built them yet.
I've got the bouquet and I have built it. So it's
okay. Well, Mr. Saurus, Valentine's Day is next month. I highly recommend.
I think he has it planned. Yeah. I was like, hey, Ross, you know what would be great? Lego flowers. Yeah, this seems like the perfect Valentine's gift for anybody, honestly. Like,
they're so cute. I managed to pick up the roses finally released, and I was like, you know what? Like, I just really want to get some. So I ordered myself one, and I opened up the box and built them, and I like put them in a drinking glass for now until I can get to a nursery and actually find like a pot or a glass vase to put them in. They're just the cutest things ever. I love it.
Man, so which all do you have? Just the roses, or do you have others as well?
Yeah, I've just got the roses currently. I want to get the bouquet for my mum for Mother's Day. And I wanted to like try and get like another glass vase thing to put that in. And I really love the look of the bonsai tree, but I haven't got that yet. I feel like I might get that when like there's a cool promotion or something and I need to hit that threshold, and I feel like that would be the set to do it, because I feel like it would just be really cool to put in like a toilet. Like, I know that sounds like the most stupid place, but you know how you have little plants or like a fake flower or something in toilets usually? I feel like a Lego bonsai tree just on like a windowsill would be like the cutest place for it.
No, I think
like half a second, Holly. I was like,
Yeah.
yeah.
The room.
Probably should have said in the bathroom.
Installation, and it's like an art installation there.
Yeah, that actually does make sense.
It would be a statement of like sustainability and plastic and where our future is headed.
There you go, Claire.
Exactly. I like it. It's like a Banksy thing.
Take a second to appreciate that poor guy who designed a bonsai tree is in the Lego Ideas project review right now. I feel so bad for that guy. Same with the guy who did Lego Doggo.
Oh, yeah.
There's one in Coliseum as well, aren't they?
Yeah, and like the one after. Someone else who did a police station modular. Just any modular building that gets selected and gets 10K. I'm like, why? It was such a good mock, but you know this isn't going to be made.
Yeah.
Feel sorry for them.
I guess it's like mostly the modern stuff, right? But like the older stuff sort of has a chance. Like
Yeah, that definitely does.
Yeah.
Like there's like an old-timey type of thing. It was like it kind of reminds me of like Sherlock Holmes, like classic Sherlock Holmes. I think there's like a modular style building of that. That looks pretty cool. I think that one stands a better chance than like, I think there's like another fast food restaurant that off the top of my head that I remember, which seems to have a very similar build on one section to the 2011 Ollivanders building, which I found really interesting.
Yeah, wasn't it the same? Like, wasn't it?
It looked exactly the same to me. And I was like, hello?
Awkward.
Yeah, the fast food corner, that's made by Robin Hood bricks.
Robin Hood bricks, yeah.
I loved the design for like the fast food corner of it. I think that like the actual like fast food part of it, I loved that part of the build.
Yeah.
I love his videos. Like in his new farm area. It is so cool. I'm so impressed.
I'll have to check it out.
I agree.
It's been a while.
I really want to do a Lego farm like in my little city area because I think farm stuff is so cute. I wish they would bring that back as like a main theme. I would buy like so much, like a barn, a stable.
I was gonna say, have they ever done like a proper good barn house?
Right,
like that would be such a good city set.
Yeah,
but not like a classic like 7+ city set. Like do it like 12+. Give us a good barn with like some giant doors.
Mm-hmm. Even like a 3-in-1, I think, could be really functional because it could go from like the barn to a farmhouse to
like
a pig pen. Yeah, that could be really cool. That's a really good idea.
I also wish they'd bring back those creator houses. Like we had one with like a red roof, and I think we've still got it somewhere broken apart. I loved those creator houses, and I have not seen like a good one in a good couple of years.
I think the new one that just came out, like the modern one, that's supposed to be like the equivalent of it, right? I guess like with all the blue trans pieces.
I guess.
I love how that one's got like an electric car charger. Like that just makes me happy. Plus, don't forget the dog. Like that, the dogs are cute.
Yeah, the dogs are cute, and they have like more inclusive people, right? I think.
And the new city sets,
Yeah, and the new city sets are good.
I want the dog.
I ordered some of Bricks and Pieces, but who knows when they're going to show up? It's probably going to be March at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Like I had one order that arrived really quickly, and then I ordered one like a few days before Christmas with like one set. The set arrived like 2 days after, which I was shocked by, considering like the shipping cutoff was like a good week before. But then the Bricks and Pieces stuff only got here this week, so it's like they're back to like month-long delays almost, and I was like, yay! Considering I have 2 other orders. Oh no, I've got 3 now. 3 in the system, I think, that still haven't arrived.
Yeah, we just got a bunch of them yesterday, and it took literally 2 months to get here, which I thought was really crazy. But I mean, I get there's delays and all of that. We ordered a bunch of just pieces, but it kind of sucks. Yeah, our like city building was very much on hold for a while because like we want to keep working on like our sidewalks and like actually make it a city instead of just like a bunch of sets on tables, you know. So yeah, we can finally do that, but 2 months. I thought that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, we ordered a gift for our nephew. It was on back order back in November, but it was supposed to be cut in December. Then it got pushed back, so we thought, okay, it's no longer a Christmas present, it'll be a birthday present. Then it finally got dispatched on his birthday, so okay, now it's an actually Easter present. So we ordered it in November, Wait till December, no. Wait till January, no. It's now arrived, so he's getting it for Easter. So at least we had it. Lego took ages, and then it got stuck in Belgium for like 4 days, I think it was. So that was a bit of crazy times. But yeah, it's waiting for Lego orders, not so good.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
That's ridiculous, though. That's way too long.
Gardens to get to us, I think it was. So it takes its time.
Yeah, I ordered a set in beginning of November from Russia. It was like a new Ninjago City Dock set. It was like probably like almost $150 less than here in the US. So I was like, okay, I'll do it. And it showed up on the 10-year anniversary of Ninjago. Like,
I mean, that worked out kind of well.
Yeah.
Like, as painful as that way was, that's actually really funny.
Yeah, but by the way, I totally recommend it. It came perfectly packaged. It was one of the best, like, I recommend the Russian Lego sellers, or at least the one that I bought from. It was good. But I don't
leave them good feedback.
So I am learning now that you're supposed to leave feedback. So so the only feedback I've ever left was negative to this one dude. And now I'm gonna get kicked off of Bricklink.
That whole story is such a
that just made me laugh.
It's gotten so much worse. By the way, so like I like reported him and he like reported me. So but the thing is, he's such an idiot. He put on what did he say? He like said like whatever bitched about.
Yeah,
and I know, like that instantly, like as soon as he said that, I didn't even get to like the last story, but as soon as I saw that one, I was gonna be like, report him. Like for that comment alone, it's like that just shows to you that like he's in the wrong. It's like if you're gonna leave a comment like that, and like I know that it's like a platform that like majority adults use, but it's like you shouldn't be writing that language on a website that sells essentially a kid's toy. Like, yeah, there are AFOLs involved. Yeah, adults are buying this stuff, but it's like I was a kid looking on Bricklink. It's like, what if anyone saw that? Like, you can't use that language towards another user. Like, no.
And the thing is, like, I do think I jumped. I like didn't. So I thought, he was. I understand that like when you have something wrong with your order, you should reach out to the seller first. And I thought that's what I was doing with the feedback thing. So like the website is so poorly designed and so not intuitive.
Bad.
Yeah, and it's a laugh, it's like totally ridiculous. But and so I thought what I was doing was sending him a message, like being like, hey, FYI, this didn't show up. So like not only did the stuff smell like foul, like dirty house and rotten food, that's like what it smelled like. And it was so bad. And like,
but it was a smoke-free, pet-free home, so it shouldn't have smelled.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know what? Humans smell pretty bad too, buddy. Anyway, so like,
that's the thing. It's like that excuse is so weak. It's like your house can stink just because you don't have a pet and you don't smoke in your home doesn't mean that you like haven't had milk that's gone off or a piece of chicken and like your house kind of has an odor.
So many other smells.
When you live there, you can't smell it. Like that's a weak excuse. I get what you're trying to say, but no.
He's gone nose blind.
Oh my god. Okay, I didn't even. So hold on. It gets. Oh yeah, Cabbage told me about that. Someone sent him a Lego set and surgical gloves, but like, which is just horrific. But like, so this guy, so he left feedback about me saying that like I jumped the gun too quickly and like I was non-communicative and I'm bullying him and all this stuff, or him or her, they, whatever, whatever. And then he refunded me via PayPal the 5 cents for the one like
knockoff Lego.
That is so funny.
So I just had a 5 cent like return to my account. Like I got an email from PayPal. Like, I was like, what the hell is this? Like, anyway, so I'm probably gonna get banned from Bricklink. So I'll be
That's insane. Oh my god. I can't.
Yeah, he should not have left that feedback. Like, I get the whole thing about like him being like, oh, like you should have communicated with me first. But it's like, if you were confused, yeah, all right, I'll give it to you. Because like I had a situation on eBay where like someone was like, my box is dented, give me like an exchange on this set. And I was like, I don't have another one. Like you need to, I'll go message the like postage insurance and like get back to you about it. It's like, I need a refund. It's like, I can't, I haven't heard back from the postage thing. Like take it to your own post office. And I was like, just like, it's a box, like open it up. And I was like, They're like, no. And I was like, all right, so you're obviously trying to like resell this set. Alrighty, I see
Right.
what's going on here.
Yeah.
Like it ended working out fine, but like it was on like Christmas Eve, and I'm like angrily like typing this like man in America about his dented box. I'm like, dude, it's not my fault. It's the shipping company. The literal exterior of the box is dented. And then I was like in a screaming match with eBay. So like, and he didn't message me beforehand, which like made me mad. And I was like trying to be civil, and he just kept getting like, you could tell by the way he was like typing that he was like getting angry. And I was like, right, I've had it with you, sir. Like, I'm out. Goodbye.
Bye.
Like I get that side of things, but like still, it's like there's no need to like write that feedback comment towards you. Like, no, that was uncalled for.
Oh my god.
Wait. Why is Chris getting Haribo with his orders? Like, why are you guys like?
Yum!
Oh,
Hey, I got one
is
too.
that's the German guy?
What was that? And there was just one package of Haribo, like a little baby one, and I was like, "What? What's up with
Yeah,
this?"
that happened to me too.
That's so creepy.
Is that like a thing?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Why?
I thought it was just this one seller.
Dude.
I should start packaging Tim Tams with like anything that I sell. That would be good.
Yeah.
I'm upset that I didn't get Haribo.
Everyone gets a chocolate biscuit. Woo.
We're not.
Like, is it a joke though?
Germany,
Like,
I
what's
think
the
is
deal with that?
Gotta get it from Germany.
Yeah.
Key.
I
It's quite a
love
thing, yeah.
Haribo Gold Bears. They're the best.
I've had extra gifts be put in though, like extra CMF packets or like sets.
Yo, where are you buying off? I want a slice of this.
But it's totally random, and the problem is like I should have gone back and like put put that positive feedback in there. So now I'm going to go back through all my orders. There's not that many, but like you would have thought that seller saw that was like my only feedback that I ever left. Like clearly I'm new to the site, relatively speaking. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Anyway, sorry. Haribo. How do you Haribo?
Haribo.
I say Haribo, but
Yeah, Haribo.
Haribo.
That's because you're
There is
American.
only one R. I see.
Y'all Americans. With your tomatoes and your Haribo.
Thing is, though, like Bricklink as a website is dreadful. Just to
It
work
takes
it
so
and
long
stuff
to
like
learn.
that. It makes me cringe so much because, like, I work with web designers and website stuff, and I just look at them like, oh, the user flows are dreadful. You can't do anything. It's not clear. Like, no wonder you end up doing the wrong thing.
Like now that I've like learned how to use it, it's definitely a lot easier. But like I'm literally in my web design diploma, and I'm like, I learned before I even signed up for that, like I just designed one based off like Adobe tutorials.
Mhm.
And then I was like, I'm looking at Bricklinks, and I'm like, this looks like it was designed in like the mid 2000s.
Mhm.
Like this could be so much like simpler, and even when they did like the design update, like it still feels quite old in the way it's set up. Like
Yeah.
it's functional, but it's not user friendly.
Yeah, they've changed the what it looks like, but not the actual experience or the flows or anything like that. It's like, no.
So do they have a dedicated team for Bricklink now, or is it just like a little side project that they took over?
I think there's a dedicated team because by the sounds of it, there's like it's part of Lego, but it's not from what I know.
Well, I don't
It's
think
like there's a
part of
Bricklink
the
team, but I don't think they're employed under Lego.
Yeah, it's probably a separate entity, isn't it?
I mean, the shop at home website is pretty dated as well. It's like it's crazy like how I get like it's easy to understand how Bricklink works. It's just the interface is so poor that they can make it so much more intuitive, and people would buy more and buy faster. And anyway, but
Searching for pieces is not easy, and a lot of times it's like the same piece but with a groove and without a groove, and it's the same thing. There's like 3 different listings for the same piece a lot of the time.
yeah, and then the different names and part and the piece numbers as well, like that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, why create like a completely new system entirely? Like, Anyway,
Especially with like torso naming, I find like most of the stuff like will have like like SW for like Star Wars, and like some of the Harry Potter stuff has like HP. So then sometimes I just go to search HP, and then it gives me this one like HP, the computer company printed tile, and none of the torsos. I'm like, hello, like it's literally in the name. Why are you only giving me this one tile? Like, where's the search? Where's the search options?
Anyway,
it is wild.
And
Yeah, especially
even,
with
like,
like, pieces. I always search by set and then go pieces. What were you saying, Cece? Sorry, I cut you off.
oh no, it's okay. I was gonna say it's just like building in studio, or like because that's what I did a lot when I was in quarantine, because I felt really bad like cluttering up my grandma's house with all my Lego purchases. But like trying to find different things in studio, because it's like I know that's a piece, like I see that that's a piece, but why is it not in studio so that I can build with it? Yeah, so I need to like learn Blender or something, I guess.
At Mega Brick, add more pieces. Thank you.
do you find that like if you click on, you know how on Brickset there's like the link to Bricklink? Like, do you find that, have you ever clicked on that? But then like if you just go to Bricklink and you search for the set number, it's like not the same results sometimes?
Oh, no.
No.
I've never
It's happened a couple times, and I like don't understand why exactly that's happening.
It happened to me on like when they list things for eBay. But I understand that they're just kind of like crawling the site, just like in general. But it's like sometimes it'll be something listed that's not the set, or like I know I've seen it cheaper just like through my own search. So, but I haven't cross-checked for Bricknit. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's just it just seems dated, and like no one's giving it any attention. And how many Bricklink users are there?
There have to be like hundreds of thousands, surely.
Yeah, I mean, like I know that. I can't. There's gotta be so many. I'm so curious. Because there's like that entire massive AFOL community that does like those huge mocks that like are totally separate and independent from like the YouTube community, you know, and they're just like kind of insular to themselves, and like the big like the anyway, but I don't know, are they getting most of their parts there? Are they getting like their parts from lugs? Like I don't know, but that's just such an interesting faction, you know?
Yeah, I didn't really think about that side of things. Where it's like they're all there, like that would take up like a massive chunk of them, surely. But another thing is how hard it is to like narrow down your Bricklink search results, because it's like I'll be like trying to find something, and it's like I think I've only ever placed one international Bricklink order, and that was quite recently. But it's like when it took me a very long time to like realize that I could search by which countries would ship to me. And that was the most painful thing ever, because I'm like, why is like that, like, what's it called? Like the seller location and where it ships to you. Why are they so like in different sections? Like that makes sense to put them together. Why are they all hidden all the time? Because like most of the time I just want to see what's in my country, because shipping is way too expensive. And it's only when I realize that, oh yeah, the Australian Lego community is very, very scarce in sets. Maybe I need to like look international. Like, do I want to see other stuff?
Right.
Like it's so hard to filter that stuff. Like it's easy when you know where it is, but it's like they hide it.
Yeah, they totally hide it, and then like a lot of sellers don't actually ship to California. So like if you're in the US, you still have to click on like every single one and see, because like we have different taxes right here, and so they don't separate out by state. And then on top of it, like the flags are so small sometimes that I confuse. Is it the Malaysian flag with the American one? And I've absolutely bought something like and paid an exorbitant like shipping cost for it by accident. Because I'm trying to buy it on my phone, and I'm just like, you know, like zooming in, and it's just like,
oh no.
That's happened with me a few times in New Zealand. Like I'll think I found an Australian store, and it's like they turns out they're in New Zealand. I've never bought anything from them, but like it takes me a really long time to realize that it's a different country.
Yeah. It's definitely not designed to use on mobiles, that's for sure.
No, the mobile is like terrible. Like trying to click like new or used, you're like your finger, it's just like, anyway.
A finger syndrome.
Exactly.
Me every time.
I feel like we should the girls who code, that
yeah.
I feel like we should get them to like do a new Bricklink website and Bricklink interface.
Right.
Yeah.
I think there's enough of us that know a little bit of code that we could have like a hackathon or something, like making a whole new.
Yeah, but Cece and Claire, you're both coders as well, a little bit.
I know very little, just enough for a couple of my architectural software stuff.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ask me again in a couple of months once I learn how to do e-commerce, and then we'll get on track.
There we go.
But I can like fight my way through it. It's like, how like once you know one, you can kind of like
a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, you can just like, it's like kind of speaking a language. You can like, ask where to go to the bathroom and like
you figure it out. Yeah.
Or you can like have a reasonable conversation, but yeah.
Super cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Steph, are you a coder? You're an engineer, right?
So yeah, my degree is engineering. So I did general engineering. I did a bit of everything. I did a couple of years of UI development many years ago, and then moved into product stuff. So I do more like the strategy of stuff for websites and stuff.
Oh, interesting. What's your opinion on Bricklink?
This is why I find it so painful. I'm just like, oh, cringe. Like,
I know that would hurt a lot.
Yeah. We just look at it and just go, no, not like this.
Well, there's other ones. What do you guys think of Brick Owl, or have you ever used it?
I've never used it.
There's not as much on that in the UK. When I've had a look. Like I had a look at some stuff and I was just like, I can't find, there just wasn't enough sets and stuff, well, parts, anything. So I just don't bother now. I don't know if it's bigger in the US.
I've seen some stickers there for like good prices. Like, because I've been starting to try to buy backup sticker sheets for all my favorite sets for the future when they start to like, peel away and be crappy.
Oh gosh, wow. That's stunning.
I mean, I thought of that.
I love the stickers for like Ninjago City and like the Monkey Kid sets. I think they're so beautiful. And like, even if I don't use them, I think I would use them for something.
Yeah.
So yeah, and they're just like a couple bucks. So if I like kind of land on a store and I see that they have it and they have like other pieces I need, like right now I've been like kind of hoarding like the gray like base plates and stuff, like trying to get my hands on a bunch of them. And so yeah, if it's like, yeah, I'll throw them in there,
Yeah, makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm mindful we've been going for like nearly 3 hours now.
Oh wow!
It flew by.
And time goes
so fast. Oh my god! This has been so much fun, like actually talking to everyone here, because we've never been in the same stream before. Like,
no.
That's so fun.
No, that was kind of, yeah, that was what I was hoping, was just like get people together. And I'd always seen people in different bits of streams, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were all together. It was like, oh, there's one. Oh, so, but it's probably. Oh, sorry, there was a super chat. Thank you very much. Well, let's take the question first, actually. So, Heather has asked, what new brand would you choose to come up with? I'm going to assume that's for, like, Lego.
Like a new line of Lego?
Yeah, a new line of Lego.
I want them to bring back Avatar. I don't know if that counts. I've been thinking about that a lot.
I feel like that's triggered by Cece's hat.
Yeah, Cece agrees. Cece's on board.
Avatar, yeah.
Some subliminal messaging going on there.
It's working.
Yeah, I'm just like staring at Cece. I'm like, Avatar. Yeah.
I wish they would do like Hello Kitty. I think that would
cool.
be so fun.
That'd be so cute.
Yeah.
Oh, Sarah, did you see my shirt the other day?
No. Oh, wait,
No,
yes, I
'cause I
did. I did. Yeah, I complimented
Kitty
it,
one?
but I don't think you saw it on the stream. You were wearing a Hello Kitty shirt.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, I love your Hello Kitty, but I don't think you saw it. I don't remember
No,
which
I
stream it
think-
was.
Yeah, maybe not. But Yeah, I remember we were talking about it, so I went back and got it.
Yeah, I saw it. It's awesome.
Thank you. Okay. Sorry. I was just, you made me think about it, Claire. Yeah.
Oh yeah, is it my turn to answer? Is that why it's awkward?
What, have you got an idea? Have you got a thought?
No, I don't know actually. I mean, mostly I just want castles stuff again. Any type of castles things or medieval stuff is really what I would choose. It's not really a new brand though. It would be more of a revamp, but you know, I don't know. If I was really selfish, I'd pick Sailor Moon, but that's never in a million years ever going to happen or be a thing. So no worries.
Would you want them as mini dolls or mini figures?
No, definitely minifigures. And then I think it would just be cool to have like, they wouldn't even have to do a lot, but they could just do like the Moon Palace or like the arcade. If they did the arcade from that show, then people could use it if they wanted to. It would be nice. I'm just saying.
Are there mocks? Has anyone ever done Sailor Moon mocks? I think that'd be pretty cool.
Probably, but I've never really seen anything like that.
I feel like you could take, what's that, like pieces from like elf sets and like that, the Lego Movie 2, like that one crazy palace. I don't know. I feel like you could kind of I could see.
You might be right about that. And I actually have 2 of those Queen whatever Wanabe palaces.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was like, these pieces are really cool. Maybe I could use them for something, but that's actually a good idea. Now I kind of want
first mock, your first or your next mock or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you've got my imagination rolling on. I already kind of wanted to do like a Sailor Moon mosaic because I really want like how Cece has this really awesome avatar one here. Like I kind of want like a cool custom mosaic too, but I don't know. I haven't made one yet.
Definitely do it. Yeah, so for me, I really like the Asian inspired like buildings and stuff, like the side buildings with like Monkey Kid, but I would want that to be its own. I guess it's maybe like a sub theme of the modulars or of city, but yeah, having like a full ramen shop or a full bathhouse or something like that would be really cool.
Yeah, it feels like they've really missed out with the like Monkey Kid sets because they do these nice little side builds, but then they put them with something massive, and I'm like, no, I don't want this massive truck with huge wheels because we're not going to use it. But I do want the nice noodle shop, please.
I know. I think I'm gonna end up getting that set because of it, and now I'm gonna have a tank going through my city that doesn't exist anymore. But yeah, or I'll like put it on top of the modulars. It's like.
Sort of ends up in some random place because
it's like in a roof. Yeah, exactly.
Chris is like, can we mock it into something? I'm like, yeah. Those parts don't look that usable. Those big tires don't.
No, they don't. No, but that noodle shop is so good. You have to pair up with somebody that wants the car or whatever, all those like boats or I don't even know what I'm talking about, but you know what I mean? It's like you have to split it 50-50.
Yeah, completely.
Shy, what's wrong with tanks? Tanks, Shy. You have them in your city. That's like your thing. But we can't all have that.
Can you imagine like tanks just like in my Disney World?
Yeah, that'd be ridiculous.
That wouldn't make sense.
Give it a very different vibe.
That'd be like the apocalypse. It's like you have completely.
Yeah, there's like something crazy going on. There's like tanks in Disney World, so
you could recolor them so it's like the parade.
That's true. You could like put like
Mickey on
the parade flags. That's actually so good.
Oh my God. Dang. Yeah, I don't think so.
You mean you don't want to see Mickey in an army hat?
I'd be intrigued.
Can't imagine why. Damn.
Oh my God.
I know Tech is he wants to make Mickey from, what is it? From like Fantasia. Like he wants to make with the wizard with the hat.
Oh, Magician's Apprentice.
Like a mosaic one of it?
No, like a minifigure, because the hat, like the hat piece comes with the Disney castle, right? Doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so I think he's trying to figure out a way to attach that hat. Yeah. Or there's that piece.
Wizard.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Maybe but is that how different is that hat from the one that comes in the Disney castle?
I think it might be the same one. Maybe it's just a different print on it or different color, but I'm pretty sure the mold's the same.
Maybe like I know
I'm shocked that figure doesn't exist.
Yeah, I know. I agree. I wonder.
Disney Series 3 at Lego, if you're watching. Wink.
Things happen.
Cinderella. Wink.
So
Oh yeah.
I will write you the list.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
if you need my help, I'm here.
I kind of want Esmeralda, but I know it's never gonna happen. But she's
Oh my gosh, I
like
really
her.
love her. She's
Esmeralda would be.
She would be an
awesome.
amazing figure.
She's so good.
forgotten.
A
always.
great Halloween costume. It's like it's so easy for like like Belle, you have to get like the dress, like the really like the very iconic dress and stuff. Esmeralda, you can like kind of take a piece of fabric and like white shirt and kind of put it together. Yeah.
Is she considered a Disney princess?
I don't think so. I think she's like, even though
I like her.
Wasn't that one guy? Isn't the prince though?
Quasimodo.
No, not Quasimodo.
The
Blonde guy.
the knight, right? He's just a knight, I think.
I guess he's not really a prince, so I guess she's not.
he's just a knight. I'm
I
pretty
mean,
sure.
technically, from what I know,
Captain or something.
Anna and Elsa didn't get welcomed into the official Disney princess royal court, so technically they shouldn't be Disney princesses. I don't know what happened to that tradition. I was really into that, and then they just stopped it. I was like, all right, fine.
I didn't know that.
There are like a lot of side characters, like Cabbage brought up Hercules, or as he calls it, Jercules, but it isn't Meg, isn't she like kind of like a badass like in that one? She's like
I feel like there's like a group of them where it's like they're like Disney princesses, but they're not at the same time. Like they're not the princesses, but like people still kind of group them in, which is like Meg, Esmeralda, even Tinkerbell, kind of.
Yeah,
like
they're all
Wendy and
workhorses.
Alice.
Yeah. They're almost like the more not more approachable, but they're like the more realistic ones. Like they all have like jobs.
Yeah, whenever Roth is asked like who's his favorite Disney princess, it's always Meg, and I'm like, I mean, sure, you can have that. Sure, I'll go with it.
I mean, yeah, at least she's like she's kind of a badass, I guess, right?
It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Boss babe.
Yeah. No, but I guess did any of the like normal Disney princesses have jobs?
Tiana, that's about it.
Right.
And then Ariel's the only one that was a mum.
She was a what?
A mum.
Oh, in
the only
one?
Disney princess with a child.
In the second movie.
In the second movie, she has. Like, I've never seen the second movie.
The second one's actually pretty good. Besides the fact that Ursula is literally voicing, like, I think her name's Pat Carroll or something is the voice of Ursula, comes back to verse Ursula's sister, and they sound exactly the same. Besides that, pretty good movie. Solid Disney sequel.
Oh, interesting. When did that come out? I'm just curious.
I think it was like early 2000s. And then there was like a third one where they kind of go into like what happened to Ariel's mum.
Oh, interesting. Okay. This sounds like my weekend plans.
Yeah, the sequels are all a trip. Like Pocahontas 2 threw me
That
for
was
a
a
loop.
wild ride.
I really like Mulan too. That one was pretty good as
She's
well.
a princess, right? Pocahontas is a princess, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
because her dad's like a chieftain.
Okay.
Also, to answer Heather's question, sometimes I think the minifigure selections kind of lean more towards Ben and like what probably they would want. If you like look at the I don't want to be this person, but like if you look at the gender distribution, for example, of like figures, and like part of that comes down to like what's like if it's a licensed thing, part of that comes down to what they're making, because it's like if they're not producing films with female characters, you're not going to get female characters. But like if you look at kind of like the modulars and city, sometimes there's a bit of an uneven distribution, and I definitely feel like the Technic line and like kind of the stuff they're making is more kind of male driven to an extent. Even the creator cars sometimes.
Yeah.
Like some of them I feel like they're kind of neutral, but then I'm like with the Porsche, I'm like, why is it white? Like make it a cool, fun color. I mean, I would personally like it to be dark gray because I feel like white's pretty kind of boring in that regard for a Porsche. But I'm like, even just the way that that's kind of all boxed up and been presented, I'm like, this is giving me like middle-aged, like car fanatic vibes.
Yeah. I never really thought about it. Where's our pink Barbie type looking car, or like the Cinderella carriage, so we get that, but in like a Disney Friends type of way.
Or like a BMW convertible. Is someone mowing their lawn? It is 8 a.m. What are you doing, sir?
Oh my god.
Anyway,
Can you imagine, though, like a Barbie Jeep? Like that would be
Yeah.
so cool.
Yes,
I would
right?
buy
That would be super
that.
cute.
like, why is the Jeep Wrangler a Technic car? I want a white Jeep in the creator line. Like, what's
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do like in the police modular though, like the police captain in that set is a woman, and so I was like, okay, like that's pretty cool. Like they're trying. You can see that
Yeah.
like
Like, they're definitely getting better.
They put in there's a female knight in the blacksmith shop, which has caused some uproar with the historical.
It's a Lego set. If it was a movie, yeah, I'd get it. It's like those people being like, why are there no women in a war movie? It's like, maybe that's because they weren't in the war, but okay. But like in a Lego set, it's like it's Lego. It's fantasy. Like it's not meant to be completely historically accurate. I saw someone in the chat say, as a male, it's very annoying to have many male figs in my collection. It turns all of my city into a male city. Literally, it's like it's the male equivalent of what's happening with Friends. It's like I remember when that came out, and I was like, it's just everything's girls. And it's like only over like the last year or so have I started to see more male mini dolls. Like, not that I really care for mini dolls. Like I'm like, if you enjoy them, good for you. Like, but I'm like, I feel bad for like the people collecting it, and because I'm like, well, like it's just tons of girls. It's like it's the same problem that we like would have with Lego City, where it's like every single character is like a male minifig. Like it's getting better. Like you look at the series 21, and like it's kind of even, and like some of the new city sets, it's like definitely like not as like dominated. But it's like I feel bad for like all of the mini doll collectors, because I'm like, it's not fair. Like I remember being a girl, like a young girl, and I was like, oh yeah, like I want my princess dolls, but like where's Aladdin? Like I have Jasmine, I need Aladdin. Oh cool, I've got Aladdin now. Want Troy and Gabriella from High School Musical? Yeah, I want both of them. I don't just want Gabriella.
Or like Barbies, everyone always had like 18 girls and like one guy. It was like some weird harem situation.
I know, right?
It's like Ken needs friends too.
Yeah. Like, what is this social dynamic that we're promoting here? Like, what is this?
It's so weird. Like with like Star Wars and things like that, like I get a bit more because there aren't as many female characters. But even still, I'm like, are you gonna like? I know that it's a UCS set, but like Padme in the gunship, please. Like we've only had one variant of that character, and good on Emily for having that set because that's expensive. But it's like not many people can have that, and it's like Leia. It's like come on, like let's get her out there a bit more. Like we're starting to see it a bit more now, and that's why I'm glad that like she came in the X-Wing. Like I know so many people were like it devalues the Tantive, and I'm like, guys, it's a great minifigure. Like it's good that that's being in sets. Like, don't you want good minifigures? Also, that skirt piece was literally a bricks and pieces. I mean, not bricks and pieces. Build a minifigure. I literally saw it in one of CC's videos. That skirt piece just on the little build a minifigure wall. It's like y'all, you could build a Leia mini for cheap if y'all use your brain and go and buy that piece.
Right. Yeah,
hint for everyone. Save yourself some money.
For sure. Like I would love to see more like just like girl minifigures, Leia, Padme, Rey, kind of, but I'm not like a huge sequel fan. Like it's just hopefully like with the new gunship coming out soon. Has that been like official yet? I don't know.
Not yet.
Okay. Well we can like assume that there's a gunship and like
oh yeah, the gunship's like confirmed because that won a vote, but like what's in it isn't confirmed yet. That's all still rumors.
Yeah. Hopefully we get some cool minifigures in there. We'll see. We'll see what they do. I mean, I feel like everyone's just gonna be disappointed, but maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing with Star Wars. Everyone's always disappointed all the time.
Yeah, no one's ever actually happy, but it's
someone's always mad.
We all buy it, or at least like exactly. It's like okay, like
even General Grievous's Starfighter, for example. I was like I looked at that and I was like, this is a cool set, but it's too expensive. So like, I don't think it's gonna sell well. I'm not gonna get it, and then it's always sold out. I'm like, what's going on?
Sounds right.
Like, actually, y'all, everyone's complaining about that it's overpriced and it's always sold out. Like, hello?
Which set are you talking about?
The General Grievous Starfighter from last year, where it's like that, like, I think it was like $80 ship, $70 ship, with 3 minifigures, and one of them was like the inaccurate Obi-Wan.
Oh, great. Yeah. Like, I mean, even the Cantina, people are talking about how it's overpriced, and I'm like, it's like sold out everywhere, though. Like, everyone's buying it. So
It's like it popped up on Australian Kmart recently, and it's like $100 less than retail. Like they are they've started to get a few D2C sets. Like they've even got the buildable Mickey and Minnie, and Assembly Square, and the Arts, and like a few other things like that. And I'm like, if I knew that was going to come out, like I would have just like waited and gone ahead. But no. I mean, I tried to, hopefully it's back in stock by the time that LAN is like, yeah, we'll send you your support, because that would be nice and I can get it through that. Otherwise, Kmart, I'm coming for you.
I'm jealous that you had the Monkey Kid sets in Target.
It's so good.
Yeah, I hope
that they sold. It was like very limited though. I wanted to get that boat, the like Ninja HQ, and it was such a good price as well. And then it was like, haha, it's limited. Like the third day, I went back to the website to see if it came back in stock. I was like, oh, damn it.
Are they gonna start? I mean, like I heard a couple people say that they've been seeing like some of the 18+ sets and in Targets as well here. Or just like
I've seen a few pictures pop up and things like that.
No, I hope that's good. I hope that keeps going.
I feel like the art sets at Target. I think that's good though for me.
I saw the White House as well.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot more random stuff there. I actually, I mean, I don't really know her, but I read this stuff online from a Facebook group where there's a girl who stocks for Lego, and she goes to Target and does the stocking for it. So they actually do bring like a lot of stuff there. But she said that when she brought stuff like the bouquets of flowers, the Harry Potter books, she brought it in, and like 20 minutes later, everything was off the shelf again.
Wow.
Yeah, those bouquets sold so quickly.
Yeah, that's the thing, is they are putting them there, but you have to be fast.
That's crazy.
I mean, it's good that they're starting to like bring all that stuff into like regular retail stores, because like retail exclusives are always so expensive. And then I'm like, all right, I need to plan when I'm buying this. Like I need to make sure there's a promo on or double points or something, because if I'm going to pay full price, I want it to be worth it.
Yeah,
it's like it's good that these things are like coming out now, and it's like you can get them at like another store where it's like it's cheaper, or you can use like your rewards card or like your credit card with like rewards points or something like that.
Nothing feels better than getting like 3 promos at once. Like you just stack it up perfectly. You're like, oh wow, oh my gosh! Like
I know.
Oh wow, what a coincidence! Yeah. I hit the threshold for 3 promo. Oh damn, what lucky day! I totally didn't plan this.
Because you managed to stack on your last haul, didn't you, Emily? Because
what was that?
Didn't you manage to stack promos on your last haul when you went to
Lego? How did you get the Book of Monsters?
That was not there.
Was that just
I did like an option between like the ice skating rink and a few others, and I was like, Book of Monsters, dude. Like I don't have that one yet.
Awesome. You didn't have to buy Harry Potter for it.
Yeah.
That was really nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really frustrating. Like I already had it, and it was like, oh yeah, Book of Monsters promo, and I was like, I just bought the books early, like by 3 days. But then in Australia, the art counted, so I got really lucky, and I was like, you know what? If any time is the good time to buy that art, which like I'm still iffy on, now's a good time.
Yeah.
Oh no, Ross is watching.
Oh no.
Wink.
Oh shit.
He doesn't know it. Like it's just a promo. It's fine.
It's a promo. It's
a surprise.
God, I don't know. When's his birthday?
It's like early February.
Oh, okay. Oh dear.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that can can't keep birthday gifts and things like that secret. Like I am always like, I bought you a gift. Do you want to know what it is?
That's me.
Right? Oh my gosh, I'm always that way. I'm like, do you know what I got you? Do you want to know? Why don't you guess? If you guess it, maybe I'll tell you.
Would you like a hint?
Yeah, we're gonna change the conversation. No more talking about Ross's birthday presents. I knew
it was like dangerous doing a video, but I was like, this is like the first time I'm out of the house in like 2 weeks. I'm gonna do it.
That's the problem, isn't it? It's like, I've gone out of the house. It's so exciting.
Oh, I get like massive social anxiety, and it takes me forever to leave the house too. I'm like, did I forget? What do I like? To like that, because my purse like isn't prepared. I'm like, do I have enough hand sanitizer? And then I get out, and it's like, oh, okay, I remember what it's like to be out here in the world.
It's so weird.
Oh, shit.
Ding dong.
No,
That's
Emily,
a peaceful doorbell.
The Lego store that you went to, was it like a popular one?
I went to?
Yeah, like to get the promo.
Yeah, it's just in Austin. It's like the Lego store in Austin. I don't think it's like I don't know. I mean, it's not like a huge Lego store. It's not like Disney Springs or something like that. But I don't know. It's a Lego store. I don't think it's like super popular.
Okay.
But it's like the only one in Austin. So I mean, there's always a ton of people outside.
Yeah, because I was just wondering, because when I went up to New York, they gave me an option for all the different promos, like Monster Book of Monsters, Ice Skating Rink, and can't remember. Oh, Charles Dickens. But unfortunately, they didn't have the car, and that's the one that I really wanted. But yeah, and I just thought it was interesting that it's really hard to find these promos where I am, but they just had an abundance.
Maybe they get more stock than everyone else. But also, it's like not many people are like going out to the shops or like as much comparatively. So like there's that too. So I wonder if that played a part in it.
Yeah.
I'm so jealous of everyone who can go out though. Like we're on total lockdown here and have been for so long. Everything's closed. You can't really go anywhere. So I'm even jealous.
Didn't most of Europe just go back into like super strict lockdown? Didn't most of Europe just go back into like super strict lockdown? I saw the other day. I know France did, for example.
We've been on it for a while in the Netherlands, so it's been over a month, and they just keep getting stricter. Now there's a curfew here. You can't even go outside unless you're like walking your dog.
Wow.
But yeah. I'm jealous of everyone who can take their car and just like go get fast food and like go pick stuff up from the store. I'm just like, it hurts. I want to do that so much.
Man. Yeah, it's nice. Like our grocery stores have like pickup, so I order online and just like go drive up. I don't even talk to anyone, so it's great. They just like put it in the trunk and I leave. But yeah, like fast food's definitely kind of nice, especially like when you have to do the curbside and you can't just like go to grocery stores, or at least like I don't want to do that because of like safety. I don't want to like go outside.
Well, you can still wear your masks and say like, "Hey, thank you," right? Like, do you interact with people still?
Yeah, I like wave so much. Like that's about it. But like,
yeah, it's still something though.
At the cash register or whatever, just like right next to somebody for.
Like I get pretty excited when people come to the door here because that's the only interaction that we have here at all. Like I haven't left this apartment except for like to take the cat to the vet in over like a month. So it's when people come to the door, I'm like, oh yay, there's like a person.
They just loosened our restrictions back up a bit, and I know that it's fine because we've got very limited, like very little cases. But even then, I'm still like this doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I should still like wear my mask. Like we can like go out and like go to a restaurant. Like I went out with my dance friends the other week, and it's like we could do that, and like that's perfectly fine. But like at the supermarket, still at like shopping centers, you still had to wear a mask. So I was like, you know what? Like I'm gonna be precautious. Like I'm gonna carry mine with me, and like I rock up, and like I expected to like wear it all the way there until I was sat down, and then I was allowed to take it off. And I get to the gate, and like the guy's like checking my ID because it was like. They had like a bar and stuff in there, and he's like, you don't have to wear that, right? And I was like, what? He's like, no, you don't need to wear your mask. Like you can take it off inside. And like they looked genuinely like they looked more worried that I was wearing it than if I wasn't wearing it. They're like, why are you wearing it? I'm like, to be safe, like to be precautions. And I get there and I'm like, I'm sat down and it's like everyone in there is following the rules. Like no one's wearing a mask, which is like you can do it, like it's legal. It just felt so wrong though. But I'm like, we literally like have like what 5 cases in the entire state, like this like or even less than that. I don't even know what our current like statistics are. So I'm like, it's fine, but it just feels wrong. Like it was so weird to like be like almost like judged for wearing it. It's like I'm being I'm taking precautions. Like this is a good thing. Why are you questioning me?
Because maybe they think like you have symptoms or something like that. It's so weird.
Maybe.
I feel like there's definitely going to be like weird social transitions and stuff. My dad's getting his first shot tomorrow for the vaccine. Which, Yay! I'm excited for him. Yeah, and then so like in 2 weeks he'll have the second one, and that's it. Then he's set for a while, right? I mean, theoretically. So
they just approved ours the other week. It took them long enough. Like they've got I think orders for 4 different ones, but they've only approved 1.
Oh wow!
At the moment, and apparently, according to the rollout plan, everyone should be vaccinated by October. And then Qantas has come out. Yeah. It's amazing.
Unless they vaccinate 1.1 million people.
Because I think we've got like 23, what's our population? 22, 23 million or something like that. So if they can get all of their 4 vaccines and they're all approved, it should be by October. And like that will include like all the rural areas and like the outback and things like that as well. which would be amazing. And then Qantas like came out a few months ago being like, oh, when we start flying internationally again, like you have to have a vaccine, and like we're going to have like some sort of check to make sure that like you've had it, so that we're keeping everyone safe. Otherwise, like quarantine and like hotel quarantine is still going to be a thing for you. So I'm like, all right, can everyone please get vaccinated by the time that my my international flight is booked, please, so that I'm allowed to leave? That would be fantastic. And I really hope I get my vaccine by then so that I'm allowed to go.
Yeah, that's awesome. The problem is you're probably last to get the vaccine.
Yeah, probably. It's like literally everyone else, and then it will be like my age bracket at the very end. I'm like, yeah. But like luckily I'm like pretty close to like the city, so it should be really easy. Whereas like I feel like people who lived in like more rural areas would be a lot harder.
No,
but also apparently they're doing it down to 16 years old here, and I'm like, why? Everywhere else is 18. These kids don't need it. I mean, they should, but like me being really selfish is like, why are the 16-year-olds getting it?
I don't know. It's so crazy. I think for the US, like they're thinking that we're gonna have herd immunity if we have to tenfold our daily vaccinations. Like right now, it's like about 100,000 a day. I think it was last time. I read, and it has to go up to about 1 million a day, and then we'll have herd immunity in February of 2022 at the earliest. But realistically, summer of next year, and that's if we're like up to that extent. If we keep going at this rate, it's like.
Well, I heard that they're canceling a lot. Like my grandma works at the hospital, and so she has to deal with, you know, people calling and asking about their like when their vaccination is and stuff, and people are saying that they're getting emails that their appointments have been canceled. So like I don't know if like there's an issue with the rollout or what, but
because like there's that whole thing in the UK at the moment with like the cancellation of like vaccines because Europe's just in trouble. Then the US is also in trouble. So like the fact that everything's getting cancelled. But then I saw a TikTok that apparently when they unthaw them, if they can't get through everything, there's like extra vaccines that people can get. So it's like you can go to one of these places and like if they have one, you can like sign up and you can get it. And I'm like, well, like how are they canceling people's appointments if there's literally leftover vaccines?
Right. It's weird.
It's weird.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I'm just glad we have a small population. So it's like, I think it's like 80% or something they want to get to before they like go all clear and everything. And like on border wise, like restriction wise, they're like kind of all right to like open them up. Or at least the government's like, yeah, this is fine. You're safe. Like you're okay. The Australian Open tennis tournament, yep, that can go ahead. 30,000 people, I think they're like letting in the audience or something like that.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's like it's just a matter of like international travel and borders. But even still, I think my guess is that they'll let citizens and like residents out before they start letting people in.
Yeah, I feel like didn't they say like they're not going to let anybody in this year in Australia?
Yeah, I doubt that's ever going to happen. Like people can come back. I think there's like 100,000 or something a week that are allowed to come back. Wise because of like all of the hotel quarantine type of thing, but it's like you have to be a citizen or you have to be a resident, otherwise you're not coming in unless I think it's for business. So like all of the stars of Thor are able to come down here.
Well,
so Natalie Portman, hello, I'm gonna come find you. Padme,
if only to be a celebrity.
I don't know, they're all just hanging out on like yachts and stuff, and I'm like, guys, I want to join you. Let me get on your yacht.
We've been going for nearly 3.5 hours now, so and it's been super fun. But is everyone cool with us just starting to wind it down a bit?
Yeah, good because it's breakfast time. Very soon.
It's crazy,
and I am still lying in bed after all this time.
And for people in the chat who are asking why Holly's face cam is not on, it's because it's too early.
When I started, it was 6 a.m. So
yeah,
not the most presentable person right now. And I'm lying horizontally. So sorry that you can't see me, but I just wanted to make sure I was here. I didn't want to miss it.
Definitely appreciate you joining. I just thought we'd quickly run through all of you guys, and if you like, Emily, do you want to tell everyone what you've got coming up in the next week?
Oh gosh, yeah, sure. So Tomorrow, I'll actually be doing my first stream into Lego City, kind of working on that. So I'll be doing a live build, just working on the sidewalks. And so trying something kind of new there. So I'm kind of excited to see how that'll work. Not used to that. And then, yeah, I've started doing scheduled videos Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays with live streams Wednesdays and Sundays. So, yeah, definitely stay tuned.
Cool.
That sounds awesome.
Mrs. Craggle, do you know what Cut the Craggle's got coming up?
Cut the Craggle, I think he's working on a new top 10 list video thingy-mabob, but tomorrow we're actually doing a stream on his Craggles Den channel. It's going to be with Greg, who was at Jim Blade, Dave of Scott's Toys, and also Chris as well, where we'll be actually playing a Funkoverse game live, so it should be a bit entertaining. But yeah, so that'll be tomorrow. I think I can't remember what time it will be, but yeah, that'd be very interesting playing this Funko game live.
Yeah, I have no idea what that is. Have to watch to find out. Awesome. Claire, what have you got coming up?
I have this video. I was supposed to come out last week, but it's gonna be like why Lego is good for your brain. So a little nerd action there. So that'll be fun. And then I've got my podcast with Shy and Ninja, Callie Bricknit, and next week it's going to come out on Ninja's channel. So on Friday.
How about you, Sarah?
Oh, well, I really need to make some more videos. So there's like 2 or 3 that I really want to make. I do want to do another city update because I want to show the space that I'm working with and kind of my ideas about what we're going to do with tables and things like that. Other than that, we're doing our regular live streams on my channel 3 times a week. So that's Mondays, Thursdays, and Saturdays for now. And tomorrow, we're actually doing a very epic 8-hour live stream. So it's not going to be that epic for real, but we're just going to be building a bunch of random stuff.
No, we're going to build up the excitement. Don't beat yourself up. It's going to be great.
It's well, I realized I oversold it. I was like epic, and then I was like, actually, it's not going to be that epic, but we'll be building stuff tomorrow for 8 hours. So if you want to stop by and check that out, you're more than welcome to in the chat or whoever else wants to come by. So that's pretty much it.
Awesome. CC.
Yeah. So I am hoping to record my video so that it can come out next week, but it's going to be on the problems with Lego ideas and some fixes for them. Just kind of jotted down some solutions, hopefully, but that can be implemented. And I also live stream Thursdays and Sundays. And then in about a month, February 20th on Saturday, I'm going to be doing a 14-hour charity live stream.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that I'm really excited about that. It's not going to be Lego building for the whole 14 hours, but I'm thinking of scheduling different things. So hopefully a panel, maybe you ladies would like to join for a few hours along there, and then some gaming as well. Oh, yeah.
Virtual Monopoly?
Is it on Steam?
I won't forget CC.
I think so. I think there's like an app or something where you can all play online. That would be like, Monopoly is such a long game that I feel like that would actually be like the perfect time to do it.
Feb 20 is my birthday, actually. So I definitely won't be forgetting that that's when your stream is.
Oh, yeah.
It's so awesome.
Happy birthday and eat cake on stream. Oh,
I know. It's like super fun that you're doing a stream on that day. I'm like, hey, cool. I have something fun to look forward to.
Yeah.
COVID, yeah.
So, yeah, that'll be really fun. So hopefully you can join and hang out, and we can celebrate your birthday if you aren't doing anything special with Mike. Yeah, but the charity is called Gamers Outreach. They build game stations for children's hospitals, and that's something that I used when I was in the hospital when I was young. So the campaign is called Builders for Gamers, and yeah, so really excited about that.
That's so cool.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's super cool. Holly, what have you got coming up?
Funnily enough, I'm rebuilding my Wally that I cleaned and bought the other week on stream in 2 hours from now. But before that, gonna get myself breakfast. Not that that relates to anyone in the chat. And then I'm hopefully, fingers crossed, going to finish my Monsters Inc. ideas project this week. I'm so close to being done. I've got Sully built. I've just got one tiny section left to do. So I'm really hoping to get that done this week so I can make a video and put that up. So please, everyone, support my project if you would like Monsters Inc. to be a thing. Pretty please. And finally, also this week, which is something I've been putting off, I really want to do that video where I'm making the Star Wars ships fly. So fingers crossed that I get that done, but I've also still got assignments that I need to complete. So fingers crossed I get time to do all of these things.
Yeah, that sounds really busy.
It's been crazy. So yeah, apologies everyone in the chat for my lacking content this last week.
Yeah, sorry, the dog appeared. It's accord as well. Amazing.
It's coming, B5, it's coming.
So yeah, so thank you to obviously all of the panelists for that sounds really rubbishy. All these people who've just joined to chat and things. It's been awesome. So thank you very much for that. Thank you to everyone in the chat. It's been awesome. There's been so many awesome comments going on. I've been trying to keep track of them. It's really hard keeping track of everything at once.
You did great.
We'll get there. It's all good. So on Bricknit channel this week, I don't know what he's got coming up. I think there's probably a video about an old retired set we picked up. I think there's probably a light set review. And we'll definitely be doing our regular live stream on Tuesday, so Tuesday evenings. So we'll be doing that. But otherwise, thank you everyone for joining. It's been awesome. I would love to chat to you all again sometime soon.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Have a lovely, I was going to say evening, but like day, whatever it is in your relevant time zone.
Have a great time.
Yeah. It doesn't work when you're talking on a global stream. And see you all soon.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks
so much fun. I'm waving, but you can't see me. Bye.